I got a headache. My stomach hurts from drinking too much coffee. I'm super wired up.
Oh, geez.
And you know what that means. It's time for the Rage Select Podcast.
Yeah, that's usually what that means.
I'm in a good headspace here. I feel like I'm going to throw up. I'm angry. I got like a headache. I'm also full of energy. It's Gamescom this week.
That's true. I didn't even remember until a friend of mine mentioned it to me.
Yep. So we're not going to be able to cover everything that is in my browser window today,
There's
but
a lot.
We're going to try. So welcome back, everybody, to the Rage Select Podcast. Here, Rage Select. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mike.
But to further decrease the amount of things we'll be able to do today, I have to talk about the thing that I watched last week. It was not Game of Thrones. It was not that. I don't really care about Game of Thrones. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, Michael, I have a confession to make.
What's that?
I didn't give a shit about Game of Thrones in like season 7 of Game of Thrones. Like everybody's like, oh, and then it got to the finale and it was terrible, and I was like, I didn't really give a shit. Like after a certain point where it's just like.
I didn't even watch Game of Thrones, to be honest.
Yeah.
When it started, I knew a bunch of friends. I had a friend who read all the books, and it was just way before the show started, and he was just like, I can't wait till the Red Wedding comes up. Like, it was a super exciting thing. This was like season 1 when he told me this, by the way.
Yeah.
And then I completely forgot about it, never watched the show, and then it happened, and I was like, oh, that motherfucker's really excited now.
Yeah. But no, I didn't watch that. What I did do last week, I had a variety of movies all lined up. I was going to watch a whole bunch of them. I was going to watch that Minions movie, DC Super Pets. But instead, I watched Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, that's right.
I watched the Top Gun Maverick.
You watched the Mavericks.
That movie is stupid.
It's really stupid.
It's, you know what? It's the most Michael Bay. It's the most Michael Bay I've ever seen a movie that's not by Michael Bay. Like,
I could agree with that, yeah.
It reminds
Less
me of
explosions, though.
It reminds me of the old days with Michael Bay and when Jerry Bruckheimer was around to reel Michael Bay in a little bit.
That's fair, actually.
Like kind of Crimson Tide, because it's very just like, yeah, fucking America. And it's just like 60-year-old man is going to fly this plane so hard. I'm going to blow up this unidentified country's unidentified nuclear program. And there's some evil X-Wings that are going to take, or some evil TIE fighter guys that are going to take on, like, okay.
He's not wrong.
I got 2 things that I really want to say about this, or 3 things that I want to say about this movie. Number 1, I did enjoy it. It was like, turn off your brain and just fucking go for it, man. Like,
absolutely.
Don't think about it. Whatever you do, don't fucking think about it.
For 5 seconds, don't even think about it.
Number 2, it really reminded me, because it's like the highest grossing movie this entire year. Like everybody
made so much money, guys.
It reminded me of the fact that the Transformers movies were super high grossing movies. Like, American audiences they're not just like, the people that go to the theater are not sitting around just like, I wonder what the next Truffaut retrospective is going to be at the multiplex. They're just like, fuck yeah, America! I want to see Maverick blow stuff up. I remember Maverick, Tom Cruise. That's our guy. He's going to blow shit up, man.
It was still like number 1 at the box office, like not even that long ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy how long it was on there.
And number 3, there's a point in time at the very beginning of this movie. The movie starts, I started watching this movie and I was just like, is this Macross Plus? Am I watching Macross Plus? Like, that's what this seems like. There's a point at the beginning of the movie, and this is, I guess, is kind of a spoiler. You could jump ahead. It's not really a spoiler. It's
the first like 10 minutes or something.
Very
right?
beginning of the movie where Ed Harris comes in, and he's just like, you know what, Booby? It's all drones now. We don't need to spend like fucking 30 years and millions of dollars training you meatbags to fucking fly at Mach 12 and not pass out. We've got like robots to do this for us now. And Tom Cruise is like, well, maybe someday, but not today. And then get to the end of the movie, and I'm like, there are a lot of problems with this mission that you guys are running here at the end of this movie that could have been solved with a shitload of drones.
That's true.
Like, there's a whole part of this that is about pushing the human body to the limits of like what you can physically do in an airplane. And it's like, well, you know what doesn't have a physical body? Drones.
Yeah.
Also, I am not convinced that the military technology doesn't exist to just drop one bomb from really, really, really high up onto the thing that they were trying to blow up, where it's like, oh no, there's anti-air missiles. I'm like, anti-air missiles can't hit a bomb that's coming from like low Earth orbit to this.
It depends on what's going on, I guess.
Yeah, but it wasn't like they were trying to shoot a banana stand in the middle of like New York City. It was like a big caldera. Like it literally the sides funnel down to the place that you wanted to shoot. Like you could have.
It's like a box canyon, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get too far into it. It's fine. Do not spend $20 to rent it. It's not that good. It's like, you know, it reminded me, what it reminded me of is the fact that Top Gun is the inferior 80s aviator movie. Nobody should be watching Top Gun when the movie Firebirds exists.
Oh, yeah.
Because Firebirds is Top Gun, but it's with helicopters. And instead of Maverick, you've got Nicolas Cage. And instead of Sam Fisher, he was in the original Top Gun. Michael Ironside. You've got Tommy Lee Jones. There's Tommy Lee Jones and Nicolas Cage flying helicopters against South American drug cartels. There's like evil fucking Mexican pilot with like a big mustache that Nicolas Cage has to fly his helicopter up against. It's stupid, and I love it. It's so good.
But yeah, that Top Gun Maverick is a strange fucking movie.
It's fine. It goes down real smooth, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like, don't think about it. Just open up your mouth, open up your movie mouth. You relax your gag reflex and just let this shit slide on down. And you'll be full by the time the movie is over. This is a really disgusting metaphor. I'm sorry, everybody.
Well, it does a great job using the one actual beat everyone remembers from the first movie.
Sure.
And just using that as its emotional backbone the whole rest of the way.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of, that's the only thing it's got, really.
I gotta say, like, you know, the opening credits to this movie is just B-roll glamour shots of planes taken off from aircraft carriers, and it starts off with the Top Gun theme. It was like Hans Zimmer or something like that, somebody with the Top Gun, the orchestral score, and then immediately goes into Danger Zone before the credits are even over. Like,
that's true.
Halfway through the credits, it just turns into Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins, and it's like, okay, I see what kind of movie we're dealing with here.
It tells you what it is pretty quickly.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my experience from last week. There's all maybe next week I'll talk about the Minions or something, but yeah, that was it. What about you? Did you see anything good last week? You watch anything good? Play anything good?
I watched Dragon Ball Superhero.
Oh yeah,
I watched it twice actually.
Did you do a review for that?
No, we were going to, but the issue is that the other reviewers are in areas, I guess, that it's not there yet, I guess, because one's in Canada, so I don't know when it's supposed to be out there.
All right.
And the other guy, I guess, he's like, I'm not even near a city that has it currently at the time.
Dragon Ball, that's just as stupid as Top Gun, right? They could have just used a drone instead of a fucking kame mame.
Well, technically, it's them versus drones. Is technically the idea.
There we go. We got a theme.
Well, because the idea of because Dragon Ball Superhero, and the reason it's called that, by the way, is the funniest fucking thing on the planet. So the creator Akira Toriyama is known for being kind of forgetful about stuff. He forgot he named Dragon Ball Super, so he was just like, yeah, it's gonna be Dragon Ball Superhero or Dragon Ball Superhero, and they're like, nobody tell him.
Okay.
And so he had forgotten entirely. He's notorious for that, by the way.
Let me ask you a weird question. I think I saw some footage from this. Is this like CG?
Yes. So this is they were like, it's going to be animated in a way that's never been done before. I'm like, and everyone's like, it's a CG movie.
It's
isn't
CG,
it?
okay.
And so they made a CG film, and it's got the issues a lot of CG films have, like especially early on ones, where there's like a wide shot. And the painting's clear, the background's clearly like a painting,
right?
But you see like a 3D model in the middle of it with like heavily pixelated almost because it's really far away,
right?
Because it's not designed to be that far.
Yeah. Because they don't have that video game thing where they have different textures depending on how far away you are.
So it's just the same model from a distance. So its lines are much thicker from a distance. And so there's a few shots like that in there. There's a few shots where it has the issue where they're like, he's walking, and it's clearly like they're just kind of grabbing him and slowly moving him, kind of thing. Yep. And but there's so far few in between that it's not as bad as some people are want to pretend it is.
Okay.
But overall, it's not bad. The plot of it's just that it's the sequel to the Cell Saga, which was the sequel to the Red Ribbon Army saga from Dragon Ball. And so
I care a lot about those details.
So the guy, so the son of the commander from Dragon Ball has hired the grandson from the guy who made the robots in Cell Saga to make him more robots, to make him more drone-y type people, to fight people, so he doesn't have to.
Okay.
And then he tricks the scientists into thinking they're the good guys, and that the main guys are the bad guys.
Right.
And so it just devolves into Piccolo deciding to infiltrate this army to figure out what's going on. And then eventually he's able to get Gohan to help him out, while the main character, Goku and Vegeta, aren't really a part of this movie at all.
The hell
which
you
is
say?
the best thing about the movie.
Okay.
Because every movie always devolves into like, and then Goku showed up and saved the day.
Right.
And this is one of the few, this is only the second of like 17 movies that's never happened.
Okay.
So it's not a bad movie. I liked it a lot. I actually do want to watch it again, to be honest.
You watched it in the movie theater twice.
I did. I won't mind watching it again in Japanese. Because I watched it in Japanese and English, and I want to watch it in Japanese again.
Okay.
Because I'm that guy.
So okay, let me put it this way. Let me get 2 ratings out of you. Okay. We'll do 5 stars with half stars. Okay. For Dragon Ball fans, how many stars? For people that know what Dragon Ball is, how many stars?
3.5.
3.5. For people that don't know anything about Dragon Ball, how many stars?
Either 3 or 2.5.
Okay.
The reason I can give it I can feel like I can give it a 3 is that it's got a lot more story going on in it.
Okay.
It's closer to like the way the structure of a Marvel film is than it is the way a lot of anime films tend to be.
Okay.
Where there's just like one giant fight at the end. But that's, that even Marvel films do. There's one giant fight at the end.
Sure.
But there's a lot more like stuff going on in between. Instead of just like fight, like the way Dragon Ball Super Broly was.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I don't know how that was. So.
Well, that one was like there was story for like 30 minutes, and then the whole hour was just them fighting to the death.
Yeah.
And then
tilt that down a little bit. Tilt that microphone. There you go.
Is that good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Broly's one giant fight. Matt Frank had issues with it for that reason.
Okay.
Where this one, I think they would have a lot more fun with it because there's a lot more story going on, and it's it's a lot more unique in that way too, because it's not just Goku showing up to save the day.
Okay. Well, it's weird. I feel like the
animation is my main reason I didn't give it any higher.
I've been waiting for the one time, Michael, I needed the internet to come and like tell me that I was wrong about a thing. They didn't, because I was an anime movie that I thought was going to be coming out. It was the Jujutsu Kaisen 0 was finally coming to Crunchyroll, and I got August and September fucking confused. It's next month. It's not this month. But so I'll be back. In a month. We're suspending this podcast until I've got my own anime No, that's not true. We're not doing that. But what we are going to do is we're going to talk about Gamescom. So you know that this is the 2/3 of the way through the gaming year point, because we've got...
That's true, yeah.
Usually E3 is kind of our beginning, and then we have our middle as Gamescom, and then sometime in the next few months will be TGS, and then that'll be the end of the big conference season until next summer. So...
Because the Game Awards already passed, right? It was January?
No, Game Awards are in December.
Is that a December thing?
Well, actually, I have some...
The last one was like 8 months ago.
December. This one's back in December. Game Awards 2022 is December. But I don't count Game Awards as a conference, because it's more just... It's like a show, as opposed to like, because there's, I don't have it on here, but like one of the trailers I have in here is just like, we're getting footage of games where it's just like, here's 10 minutes of game X, here's 7 minutes of game Y.
The only reason I brought it up is because Alan Wake 2 was announced at the last one.
Right.
But for some reason, Sam Lake and the Remedy Twitter decided to post that we're making Alan Wake 2.
Right.
And it's like, I'm sorry, what?
It was like, we know.
We already know. And Ben apparently didn't, because he messaged me and like, did I miss something? Like, apparently you did, because this was like 8 months ago, bro.
Yep.
So, yeah, congratulations. You found out Alan Wake 2.
Yeah. It's good. So what a great surprise for you.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm so happy for you. So, it's so weird.
All right. We got a lot to get through. I don't know if we're going to... I have a lot here. I don't know what we're going to be able to get through. There's a good possibility that a bunch of stuff is going to get... I don't know. I'm trying to figure out whether or not we're going to be able to get through this Gamescom stuff fast, but there's so fucking much of it because it was like an hour-and-a-half show. So we started with a teaser for Everywhere, which is this like MMO... GTA MMO on another planet thing that was announced. It was announced, I believe, at the Game Awards last year.
I think it was, yeah.
Or it was the summer, the Jeff Keighley's fucking Cracker Jack explosion or whatever. I don't remember, the Summer Games Fest. This appears to be some kind of big, massive multiplayer online third-person like action driving building maybe on like another world kind of thing. I don't know about you, but I was really underwhelmed by this as like a thing to start the show.
Well, the thing I heard about it as well is that it might have some NFT stuff going on in it.
Oh, no.
Because somebody found like a posting or something from, I guess, the company making it that mentions like, hey, we're looking for people who are good with NFT type stuff.
No.
So that's the rumor currently. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah. And by the way, there's a lot of this stuff where it was like, they showed it and then they brought the developer out to talk about it, and I don't give a shit about what developers had to say. I just kind of like stopped paying attention.
Yeah, they got a few, and then there was ones that are like, "Hey, you're the most anticipated game of the year, I guess."
Yeah,
but they're like the list of nominees were like things no one give a shit.
Oh my god! Yes, no way. Yeah, those awards, those were the stupid. Like I thought the Game Awards were bad, but it was like the thing that people on the PlayStation are most excited for, and they would have like 3 games that weren't God of War, and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
One was like One Piece. I don't remember what the other one was.
Yeah,
but they were like games no one fucking gives a shit about.
Well, but then the other thing that was wrong with it is the way they had this co-host lady, and she was doing the nominees while the person with the award that won it was basically standing right out of frame next to her.
You could tell.
And then they would say the award, and they would just zoom out a little bit. And there's a person holding it, so it's like, well, there was no anticipation. You guys don't even know how to do award shows.
He's like, I'm so one of them literally says, "I'm so surprised that I won this."
You were holding it.
It's like, are we sorry? Are you sure, dude? What's wrong with you?
Like 2 feet to her left, you were just standing there holding it.
You got goldfish memory, bro.
Yeah, it was really dumb.
He leaves. I won.
Yeah, it was really dumb.
Yeah, it was really stupid.
Anyway, everywhere, I don't know. Fart noise. Let's see. From there, we got the Dune Awakening announcement. This was a full CGI thing, but apparently they're making a Dune survival game.
Yeah, it's kind of like, apparently it's supposed to be like that Conan game.
Okay.
Kind of thing, that idea of the survival type thing. That's what I heard, at least.
I don't know. I was thinking about it, and I was like, I think I would rather just have like a third-person action game. Like Dune always goes to strategy, and I think that you could totally. I mean, like the Dune universe is violent. You know?
100%.
You could kind of have like an action game that had like a Call of Duty, where it was like create missions based on what happens in the movie and make them all like cinematic with like scripted events and stuff. I mean, I guess it's fine. Like I'd rather have this than that weird turn-based 4X game that they're making.
It's fair, yeah. That's the thing. When they announced this, it's like, are they going to make an actual Dune game? And it's like, no, it's a survival game. It's like, well, that's pointless, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is a lot of licensed games don't really get normal games anymore.
Yeah.
They all have to have some kind of gimmick to them.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. It's got to be like online. You got to be able to make your big client. All I want to know is like, can I be a Harkonnen? Can I be the bad guys and then just like work my way up to the point where I can be big fat Baron? I want to be Baron Jeff of like Harkonnen clan. Just like, my little avatar on the screen's bopping around in like a big suspensor chair, just like, I let the wine drip down my face. Bring me that cat and the rat that I sewed together. I'm going to make the guy with the eyebrows work for me.
That should be the end game for the survival.
Press X for pull out that guy's heart plug and let him bleed to death on me, I guess. Also, find that guy that's playing that one weird instrument and then turn on the steam so that Sting can come out. That's what I want. I want a game that's based on the Lynch movies, not the new ones that look all like normal and shit. I want the insane version. No, I want somebody to make a Dune game based on the Jodorowsky concept art for his fucking crazy.
Why don't they just do all 3 things?
Oh my god,
together?
Yes.
And then so it's like the design from that.
Yes.
But it's got like the Lynchian like people.
Yep.
And it's got like the suit designs of like the third one.
And I want Patrick Stewart in there as Gurney Halleck. Like
that's how it works.
Let's do it. Let's see. After that, we had the Callisto Protocol. We had some gameplay of the Callisto Protocol. This is still coming out this year. I'm very glad. This looks, I mean, it's just fucking Dead Space.
It looks like more great Dead Space, but super fancy.
Yep. Looks like real good Dead Space. Looks like there's a lot of like bullet storm rotating chompers to throw people into.
Yeah, or for you to fall into as well.
Yeah, or for you to fall into. Yeah, it looks like I think that if you didn't know about the Callisto Protocol already, this was like a good way to remind you that it was a thing, or to tell you that it was a thing. But like if you watch the Summer Games Fest coverage, like you're already either sold or not sold.
That's true, yeah.
It's Dead Space, but with like weird psychic superpowers. It's kind of weird though, like in this trailer, how they do show that like sometimes the enemies will do that Resident Evil 4 thing where they'll blast out into like tentacles randomly. Also, I don't know what the deal is, Michael, but it appears that all of the weapons in the game are less powerful than throwing guys into saw blades with telekinesis. And in this little trailer, it's like this guy's sneaking around, he's shooting guys, he's stabbing guys, he's doing quick time events. Like, just throw him into the big chopper, motherfucker. Like,
it's probably a cooldown or something.
Yeah.
It's the only explanation I could get. Yeah. Otherwise, you're just going to throw everybody.
It looks really,
tentacle thing you mentioned
really
there.
disgusting, though.
Oh, it looks it's super
great.
disgusting. I can't wait to play it in the middle of the night.
Yep.
When everyone's everyone's quiet.
That's right. There was that one part in this demo where like he had shot slashed all of like the limbs off this guy, and then he just like weirdly rips a new head on, like a new head and arms on. Like, it was kind of weird to figure out like what the fuck was that.
It was it's very strange. It was like his top torso got a little thicker too,
and like his arms were damaged, and then he just like ripped new arms onto himself, and then he just throw him in the chopper.
Just throw him in the chopper.
Fuck, you throw him in that wood chipper, that space wood chipper. Boom, done.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, me too.
I might just play this with just headphones on, kind of thing.
Fucking crazy. I'll loan you my fucking 3D sense around PS5 branded headphones. Yep. I don't ever use them, but
I'll totally use them. Since I didn't use the headphones at that time, but I played Dead Space 1 and 2 at like super late at night when everyone I was asleep when I lived with my parents, so it was scary as shit.
It's too scary to play by yourself.
I couldn't listen to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star again for like years. I remember
that was your takeaway.
Yeah, because what happened was like, because there's that level where it's like a little girl singing it. You never see her, by the way. There's just bodies everywhere.
Yep.
And then my niece was living with us at the time, who was very, very young, and she started singing it randomly.
Cool.
And I started getting like Vietnam flashbacks of Dead Space in the middle of a restaurant.
Just teach her 1-2 Freddy's coming for you. You know, teach her a better song.
This was a long time ago, so yeah.
Let's see. From there, this was really weird. Like, they showed this thing, and it was talking about like the overlords, and then all this like kind of Sauron, Mount Doom, like these big hand thing, and like all this fantasy stuff, and then they start playing Mother from Glenn Danzig.
While, it's very strange.
With like this weird medieval fight where like a guy in armor is fighting another guy in armor, and then it turns out it's Lords of the Fallen 2. No, wait.
That's just Lords of the Fallen is what it's called.
It's a reboot of Lords of the Fallen?
I think it's a reboot of Lords of the Fallen.
Okay. Because they made a Lords of the Fallen 2, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought they did.
But it's very weird because it doesn't look anything like Lords of the Fallen.
No.
Like,
in fact, it kind of reminds me more of Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
I can see that, yeah.
Especially with his armor designs.
There's a lot of cool art stuff going on here. The guy's got like a crown of thorns for some reason. And, he gets killed, and then like the weird like lantern brings him back to life. There's a lot of weird. I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on here where I'm like, guys, I didn't read the book. I don't know what you I don't know who these people are.
I don't know either.
Or what this world is, or what the fuck is happening. Like, it's very evocative, but I don't know. Like, whose side should I be on?
I don't really know how this works. So
is this like So I don't know. Lords of Fallen was disappointing. I thought, for the life of me, I thought this was a Lord of the Rings thing between the Mouth of Sauron guy and the guy that looks kind of like Sauron, like having a fight.
I can see that.
Big Sauron energy going on in this. So I don't know. We'll see. Poor Lords of the Fallen. I mean, I don't think this is the same developers as the first one.
I doubt it, to be honest.
But poor Lords of the Fallen, like, I feel like I don't know when this game is coming out, but if it's going to be like anywhere near Elden Ring's DLC, it's going to get its lunch eaten. So
I'm sure it'll be fine.
It'll be like poor Horizon. But yeah, I mean, it's cool looking trailer, evocative, such. But
PS5 though,
yeah. I don't recognize any of those game studios.
I don't either.
I'm pretty sure the previous one was Deck 13 made Lords of the Fallen. And this is
the description is saying it's a sequel, but I don't know.
CI Games. Okay.
But I don't really know.
It's a sequel. Okay. You know what is actually a sequel is moving out too. this was just very much like, okay, more moving out. Remember the first one, co-op moving thing. They kind of tried to have a cute trailer, but it's kind of like if there was a new what is that? Cooking. What's the one where you cook?
I forgot, burn something.
Burn something. The one that's like a co-op cooking game.
Yeah, I thought it had the weird burn in it at some point.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, this is just more moving out. It looks like there's some more stuff to do. Like you can play online with more people. Looks like there's some different types of puzzles. Cool, great, fine. Kind of similar to what we've seen before.
There's a lot of games like that nowadays. What was that one that we played with the ship? The ship. The when we were like an airline, a space airline.
Oh yeah. Like going far. Man, I am bad today at remembering shit.
I looked it up, by the way. It was Overcooked was the other one.
Overcooked.
That was one of the first big ones I remember.
Space Lanes from the Far Out.
That sounds right.
Something like that. Yeah.
But that is one of those examples of ones that are like that, and they all tend to be very similar in the idea that like there's different tasks, and you have to try not to yell at each other when you're doing them.
I don't know. You gotta yell. It's required to yell at people when you're doing it,
especially in Overcooked. Apparently,
we got a new Hogwarts Legacy trailer. This one's all about the dark forces, the evil dark forces to Jedi Knights. That's what
it seems to be. Yeah, because this isn't that other game, right?
Which one?
The MMO one or whatever.
This is the one that they had the big Sony presentation on. That's coming out. That was supposed to be coming out this year. It got pushed to next year.
Is it this one?
Yeah. This is the one where you get to make your own character and get to do stuff. But yeah, there's a whole like subplot.
I thought it was some sort of MMO thing, but I guess I didn't know. I guess I completely misunderstood what it was.
No,
I never cared to begin with. So
yeah, this is the third person open world Harry Potter game that they've been making for a long time. So
okay.
Because there's a whole like subplot with the evil wizards and the Goblin Rebellion or something, and but that this one is like fucking torching skelly bones and dungeons and stuff. Like, I think this goes better to show that it's not all going to be like fun in the cafeteria. There's also going to be some dark shit in here.
You can actually have a game going on.
Yeah. Because this one at the end shows like the pre-order bonuses of getting like our deluxe edition gets you some onyx hippogriff mounts and really ugly robes with skulls on them.
Got to be the dark one, Jeff.
Okay,
got to show them how dark you are.
Sure. I mean, I'm really agnostic about Hogwarts, where I'm just like, I don't really care about Harry Potter, so like,
same.
Take it or leave it. This looks like it could be a good game, and I do like Avalanche Studios. Like,
I love Avalanche; they're great.
I hope they make a good game and that it's fun. But if it's not, it doesn't matter to me because I don't have any skin in the fucking Harry Potter game.
I don't either. The only thing about Harry Potter I never understood is the Quidditch, the real life quote unquote Quidditch leagues of people running around in brooms.
Yeah,
I can't believe that exists. But there's no such thing as a basketball league anywhere where basketball makes more fucking sense to actually do in real life. I'm just saying,
Michael. Harry Potter is much more popular than basketball, starring Trey Parker. And
I'm saying we should make a basketball league, Jeff.
We need like 9 more people, and then we'd have to get other people to become other teams to play.
That's true. Like, maybe we can get one of us to help us out.
All right, but I get first
basketball team.
I get first pick. From there, we saw a trailer for the new Tales from the Borderlands. So this was teased a little while back. I think it was teased at. Was it Summer Games Fest or was it earlier than that?
I remember people being very excited when they announced it.
This definitely looks like a Borderlands adventure game.
But people love that first one a lot.
Yeah, I've never played it before, but this is like people on this planet that's being invaded by one of the gun companies, and they're trying to figure out what to do. And I mean, it actually looks a little better, I think, than Borderlands, because I think that rather than having to see everything from the first person perspective, like having a camera that moves around means they can be a little bit more judicious with their shots and everything, so it looks more dynamic. Plus, I feel like the characters have that hard black outline, but then they have like a softer shadow to them that makes them look better.
The cutscenes, it's definitely camera angle stuff, as well as a lot more expressions that they can do, at least during some of these cutscene stuff, I think.
Yeah. I also think that, and like people can completely disagree with me. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I think the writing in Borderlands is terrible, and I think that these are better because they're written by like adventure game people and not like people concerned about. I mean, I played Borderlands 3. It was all about Lilith and the fucking psychic siren powers. God, it was terrible. So,
well, that's one of the reasons people love the first one so much. They're like, they legitimately thought it was a really good story compared to the Borderlands 1, and Borderlands 2 kind of just piggybacks off of Handsome Jack, to be honest.
Yeah. So I don't know. This looks good. I want to give it a try. I'm interested to give it a try because I think I played the first Borderlands on like a live stream, which was a really bad. Also, I think that was a point in Rage Select history where we kept chattering the entire time without really listening at all to what was going on.
That's the hard thing about doing Twitch streams of things like that.
Yeah.
Especially ones that are like comedies, basically.
Yeah. Let's see. From there, we saw the DLC for Dying Light 2, Bloody Ties, which appears to have some kind of tournament arc, as well as...
It's a Thunderdome.
I mean, I'm really interested to know if people... I really liked Dying Light 1, but remember, like, Dying Light 2, when it, on the lead up to its release, was like, this game is 200 hours long. And I was like, well, then you could fucking take that and put it somewhere else besides my computer. Like,
so I'm not dealing with the nonsense. Yeah, it's a game that, like, it kind of came out and then no one talked about.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's kind of the first one was for a little bit, too.
I guess the first one, it was so fun. But then the second one, I just didn't play it because I didn't want to start. I didn't want to start and then run out of steam halfway through a 100-hour game. Yeah. So I just didn't bother even starting it. It was just like, all right, well, fuck it then, I guess. And this looks like more of the same. Like Techland, they do a good job with these games. If you're into Dying Light 2, you're probably going to like this one. So, I don't know what else. What else you want out of me? What do you want out of me? Nothing. That's what.
Oh my God.
Speaking of wanting nothing and getting nothing, you get nothing. Full-on Sonic Frontiers release date and full story trailer. Michael, as somebody who doesn't hate Sonic the Hedgehog with the fiery passion of 1,000 Suns, what do you think about what you saw here?
It's not very good.
Yep.
Sonic Frontiers is the game that got announced that everyone was very hopeful about.
Yep.
Because it wasn't released immediately, like a lot of Sonic games are. Because they're like, we're going to take our time with this and make it a nice, fun game. And then they show us a lot of empty-ass areas.
Everything is empty as hell. The enemies look stupid. They look generic and stupid.
Super generic. There's not a lot really going on in this world.
There's not a single shot of Tails or Knuckles. It's just Amy in a ball, Sonic, and this weird robot chibi bad guy girl thing. The combat looks uninspired and stupid, and it looks like the world looks so empty.
It's so fucking empty. It's like there's some neat attack stuff here and there, but they're mostly kind of generic attacks.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because people just want a good Sonic the Hedgehog game.
Yep.
And that hasn't been a thing for a very, very long time. Because as much as I like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, I go back to them and they're not very good.
Because Sonic games blow, dude.
They kind of stopped. They kind of hit their peak at Sonic 3. From what I've heard. Yeah. Because I didn't own a Sega Genesis when I was growing up. Yep. So, yeah, that's as far as the thing about Sonic. But that, I guess, people really liked that other one that's just a bunch of those games, a bunch of those levels.
Oh, Sonic Mania?
Sonic Mania. Yeah. But that was all made by fans, too, is the thing. So, yeah.
Yep. I think this game looks like poop. But that's just me. I'll like what was it, like 2 months ago? IGN had that footage that they put up where they showed it, and everybody was like, "Oh no!"
They're like, "This is a beta, right?"
It's like maybe this is a beta, and then they're like, "Here's the full trailer," and it's like, "It's the same. It's the same
exact same thing. This isn't an alpha. This is the game."
Oh
it's
God!
And then there was like people hashtagging "Fire the Sonic Team."
Yeah, I mean, shit. November 8th, like they.
It's like 2 months from now, 2 or 3 months.
It's going to be that. It's going to be that. It's going to be bad. Like, it's going to be bad. It's going to be that, and it's going to be bad. And
these poor Sonic the Hedgehog fans.
Yeah, everybody's going to be like, oh, my God, this Sonic game is awful. It's like, how could it be after all of the bad Sonic games that have come out over the years?
Well, it's just the whole thing. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, fiddle DD or something. It just keeps going.
Fool me twice, you're going to play more Sonic games.
Never get fooled again or whatever.
I mean, they could just delay it and make it a good game, or they could cancel it.
Yeah.
And hire a studio that knows what they're doing to make the whole thing from the ground. Hire the guys that made Super Lucky's Tale.
Yeah.
Hire the Hat in Time guys. Hire the banjo, the ukulele team.
Yeah, that would be a good point,
to make one.
Literally anybody.
There's a lot of like third-person action, like throwback action game studios that you could hire, but I feel like Sega just keeps going like, no, we'll make it. It's like, you can't. You've proven time and time again that you cannot make a game.
All they do is eat chili dogs, and they're like, done.
Yep.
Sonic is made.
Yep.
Like, you didn't do anything.
I'd rather watch the movies at this point.
The movies aren't bad, though.
Still haven't watched movies. Let's see. From there, speaking of watching movies, we got a trailer for Under the Waves, which is a Quantic Dream game.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Appears to be some kind of Jacques Cousteau underwater adventure from Quantic Dream.
Yeah. Not the people I expected that from.
Yeah. I don't know. A little weird. Looks like there might be more like doing stuff than your typical Quantic Dream game. Maybe. Well, no. This is all just walking around in third person. Not every Quantic Dream game has that. So.
That's true.
And talking to people, solving puzzles.
And there's like a ghost child.
Yeah.
They're like, under the sea, you can poop wherever you want.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's coming out next year. You know what? I'm always a little bit like concerned when I see something like this, Michael, where it says when they showed the game stuff and it says supporting ocean preservation with Surfrider Foundation Europe. I have a feeling that this is like there was a grant for games that brought awareness to ocean issues, and so Quantic Dream was like, oh yes, we will do it. Well, it should be. Probably offensive to somebody. They're French, right?
Are they French?
I thought they were a French company.
I'm just gonna go with sure, just so we are fine with it.
Maybe not. I take back my all right. But like I don't know. I get a lot of times these games when they're like funded with a grant for another thing can sometimes be. It can be a
They're
problem.
very dicey.
Like sometimes they can be fine. Sometimes they can be real boring.
Sometimes you got to figure out how to say Subway a bunch of times in the middle of Community.
Yeah. Goat Simulator 3 had a gameplay trailer. This looks very much like Goat Simulator.
Oh yeah, it's much more detailed. Goat Simulator is really what it comes down to.
Yeah, Goat Simulator with better graphics. We see a lot of goats doing a lot of dumb shit, dressing up in different outfits, running around, causing destruction. Playing like soccer, driving cars, fucking going into whales, like all kinds of stuff. This looks exactly like what I want out of Goat Simulator.
Yeah,
it's 100% what I want from Goat Simulator.
It's more Goat Simulator, and that's great that they are allowed to keep making these things.
Yep. I don't know. It's like Suda 51's career. I guess people keep buying these, or enough people buy them that they're like, sure, make another one. Why don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's absolute berserk insanity. But you know what? I'm glad that somebody is carrying the torch of like dumb physics sandbox destruction games.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like we used to have more of these. So there's a lot going on in this trailer.
Well, there's a large gap where it's just something simulator every time.
That's true.
Like I Am Bread was a good example of
that. And then at the end, it gets eaten by a big whale. So, boom. There's not even a giant whale in the Liza P trailer. There's a giant whale in Goat Simulator, but there's not a giant whale in Liza P. It's some bullshit right there.
Maybe it's a boss.
Return to Monkey Island got a release date as well as a trailer where Stan, character that's been in every Monkey Island game, kind of used car salesman, kind of goes through and shows a bunch of different stuff. I mean, this game is out in like 3 weeks.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like September 19th. So it's not too long from now. I can see why some people might be put off by the art style, but I don't give a shit as long as Ron Gilbert is writing it. Like
that's fair, yeah. That's the thing is like sometimes you just have to take what you can get when it's one of your favorite franchises.
Yeah. Does it look the way that I may have preferred? No, I don't care. I'll stop as if the writing is as good as everything Ron Gilbert's ever put out is, then I will forget about that 10 minutes in and be laughing too hard at the jokes.
It would have to be really terrible for me to not do with free horse armor.
Yeah, they announced that you get free horse armor with the pre-order, and it's just an icon that goes in your inventory. It can't be used for anything ever the entire time.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, it would have to look really, really bad for me to not want to play a game nowadays.
Yeah,
and I do mean really bad.
No, I'm all in. I'm good to go. September 19th, Monkey Island. Great. It's cool that they held off for so long before announcing this, and then it was just like 6 months from announcement to release, right?
I think they delayed it once during that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's see. From there, we got a look at Moonbreaker. This is interesting because this is... Okay, so first off, this is written by this guy named Brandon Sanderson, I've never heard of before, that apparently has written some sci-fi stuff. But this is the next game from the devs of Subnautica. I actually talked about this last week where they were going to announce this, and it's a roguelike thing where you have these little miniatures. Did you watch the whole thing for this?
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw some people talking about it.
It's like you have these little miniatures that come down, and it's like a tactics game where you fight with the little miniatures. And they're not really animated. Like they kind of just like move around like miniatures would on a board.
Yeah.
And then they kind of like they'll shoot and there'll be like explosions and little like effects and stuff, but they don't animate. Like it's more just kind of very minimal stuff. What's really interesting though is that they showed that one of the interesting things here is that every single one of these they have a virtual painting app. So you have to paint them yourself.
Oh yeah. That I heard about.
Yeah. Which is cool. Like it kind of gives you the ability to customize. And it's like the way that it is it just masks off like certain parts of it, so you don't have to paint it like
you have to be meticulous kind of thing.
Yeah. Which is cool. I don't know. I mean, like it's a lot of interesting concepts. It really kind of depends on how it ends up coming out, right? Like, is it fun? Is it not fun? And this is coming to Steam Early Access like later this year. Was that also September 19th? September 29th. So
pretty close.
10 days after.
Yeah, it's interesting because from the fact that it is just little minis that don't move.
Yeah,
like that's fascinating to me.
It was kind of disappointing. I was like, oh, are they not going to animate those guys? But I guess what it really depends on is, is it cool in the context of the game, right? Like if the game, like I don't necessarily need every single avatar that I have in a video game to be like completely animated, where the billion animators spend 100 hours to make it more new.
It definitely seems like it was done to make the painting thing easier on them.
Yes,
so they don't have to like animate different movements with different colors.
Yeah, yep. So they said the creative director said it's like XCOM meets Hearthstone, and I'm like, well, if you could pull that off.
Yeah,
I'll play it.
People will be excited.
100%.
If you build it, they will come or whatever.
Yep. Next up, we had a trailer for a game called Friends vs. Friends. This is a very strange trailer because it was a song. It was like this little music video.
Yeah.
And it was this fully animated thing where it was talking about friends buying like cards. And then there was this little animated thing where these anthropomorphic animal friends were like using the cards to like kind of attack each other. But then when they actually showed what the game looks like, it's like, oh, it's like a first person online. It's like a first person shooter game where you have like a bunch of cards that you get that then determine like the weapons that you have and the powers that you have and stuff.
Let's get the happy tree friend idea of characters, which could go either way.
Yeah. It's a little like when they actually transition over into the game, like it's a little rough around the edges. Like it's obviously kind of lo-fi, you know, which could work either way. Could go either way. This is one where I definitely would need to see more. Like because
they're sort of quick cuts kind of thing that you're never really sure exactly how it looks in full movement.
Was that a full new Doki V trailer? Oh shit! I gotta watch that. That's that insane MMO, right?
Oh. Is that what that one
with
is?
The kids with like the hammers and stuff.
Jesus fuck.
Okay. From there, we got a gameplay trailer for Liza P. If your lies with P, then you can lie to me. That's just trying to do my thing. This is
The lies of P is that you peed in the pool. That's what it is.
This is Pinocchio Bloodborne.
That's what it is.
I
Yeah.
never could figure out why, what the fuck, man.
I still don't really know, but I will play it, to be honest.
You got the blue fairy here at the beginning. Geppetto's in there. You got this old lady with face all messed up. And then you got weird, hot Pinocchio with his arm. I don't know if he's like, is he still?
He reminds me of the kid from Dune. What was his name?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember.
I forgot his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. The new Dune, not the Kyle MacLachlan.
Not Kyle MacLachlan? No. Yeah. This is just Bloodborne with Pinocchio.
Yeah.
And like, hey, man, sure. Can you do it? Probably not, but you want to give it a shot? I'll try it out. I will definitely try it out. Very kind of Dishonored too, a little bit, I feel like, with some of the steamy steampunk stuff that's going on. Because there's not as much like bio horror in here. It's more like mechanical, kind of stuff. But
androids.
Yeah, but it looks good. What's weird about it, though, is that there's this game, but there's also that Steel Rising game that's coming out in September.
Yeah.
With the fucking clockwork marionette French Revolution thing.
I had forgotten there were two different games at one point.
Yep. It took me a while to separate those two in my head. Yeah, what do you think, Michael? You going to play Bloodborne with Pinocchio?
I may actually play Bloodborne with Pinocchio.
Bloodnocchio?
Pinocchio.
Pinotborn? Pinborn?
Pinotborn.
Yeah.
There's like a bunch of Pinocchio movies coming out as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Which makes it that much funnier to me.
Also, they have Jiminy Cricket. He's in his little lantern. He's just like a point where he's like, I'm with you, buddy. And it's like, oh, my God.
Kill them all.
Like, you guys are really just sticking to this thing. Like,
that's
oh my
kind of
God.
amazing, actually.
Yeah. So, okay. Sure.
Pinocchio's on the rise. You know, a Guillermo del Toro movie.
Oh, that's true.
The Disney movie.
There's
and
Disney.
This.
Oh, yeah.
It's
like
Tom Hanks is Geppetto. Whatever.
Live action remake of animated movie thing, right?
Pinocchio's on the rise, guys.
Except that Pinocchio's still a toy. So, like, there's no live. It's still just going to be animated. Like,
well, the toy itself is animated, yeah.
Yeah.
They made it look really interesting.
Yeah. Weird shit. Some real weird shit. Oh, it's also going to be on Game Pass.
Oh. Okay, well, then, yeah, I'll definitely give it a shot then.
Let's see. From there, okay, this is Deck 13, the guys that made original Lords of the Fallen. And this is a Focus Interactive joint. And I'll tell you something. Yeah, this is called Atlas Fallen. This trailer did very little for me. I don't know.
It doesn't
about
really
you.
explain a lot. Like
Yeah.
it's got like it feels almost like the aftermath of a God of War story, where they're just like the gods were all around and then they all died, I guess, and then it throws in some Destiny type shit in the middle of it.
There's all this sand plays
I
really
don't really
big.
know what's going on.
It's like this weird caravan with this big guy, and there's this lady, and then sand monsters come out, and they fight him with sand weapons, and it's all sand. Like,
yeah, it's Anakin's worst nightmare.
yeah, it's coarse, man. It's super coarse. I don't know, man. Yeah, show me the game. Like,
There's like a quick little montage of stuff at the end too, isn't there?
yeah, this is like a cut scene, and then at the end they have a real brief flash of like 2 or 3 things that look like kind of like third person action, but like, tell me more. This reminds me a little bit of you know what this reminds me of is early on when they announced Forspoken. And it was just like, what the fuck is this? Show me what this is. Like, quit teasing me and put it in my mouth. Show me what it is.
This one can definitely go either way. Is the main thing about it. But it all depends on what it is, you too.
Deck 13 is kind of they're not the most trustworthy in the. I mean, I don't know. Lords of the Fallen was fine, but like they also made the Surge and the Surge 2, and like those were also fine. Like none of the games that they've made have really like blown my butt off.
That's true.
So,
Not a lot of people even talk about those games, to be honest.
Yeah,
they would tend to just be free randomly on PlayStation Plus.
Yep. We finally saw some actual full-on gameplay of Homeworld 3. The last time we saw Homeworld 3 was that horrible Gearbox conference.
What a weird fucking thing to do on that, by the way.
Where they just kept being like, Homeworld 3, it's a thing.
We're making it.
Homeworld 3, it's a thing. I like the fact that the mothership is now sideways as opposed to vertical.
That's the change.
Other than that, this seems... Well, actually, that's not
It's
true.
revolutionary, Jeff.
I was going to say this seems like Homeworld, but it's not because... like they show there being like the mission they show is like by this giant ruined like outer space thing, and they show using like the plates floating in space as cover for fighters to go behind. They show fighters like sneaking through like a big tunnel to get behind to flank like assault carriers and stuff.
Oh, okay.
The main thing, Michael, I think, you know what? I love Homeworld, but I can't play Homeworld because it's too fucking hard. Like, so if they make Homeworld, but it's not hard, but I can play it and not like just, you know, because the problem with Homeworld was that you could bone yourself.
Oh, yeah.
8 missions back, and you wouldn't know until you got 8 missions forward, and you were just like, I don't have anything for this. And it was like, yes, because you fucked up 8 missions ago, and we didn't tell you. Like,
Games were pretty brutal, guys.
yeah.
Actually, they still are at the times, but it used to be even more brutal than that.
Yeah. But I mean, it looks very Homeworld, right? Like, spaceships flying around, like, doing stuff. You know, it's cool.
I'm sure people will like it.
Yeah. Hope it's got, or I don't know, maybe at least if it has just like an easy mode where I can actually play it.
Well, that's the fun thing about modern ones is that they do enough to ease it down a little bit for newer people to really want to play it. So maybe that'll help a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see, Genshin Impact. Does anybody care? Do you care?
Oh, really? It turns out a friend of mine's playing it now.
Oh,
and he talks about it a lot now. He was bringing up that one of the characters in this trailer, in another trailer, apparently was like really offensive to people.
Cool.
At one point.
Why?
It's this pink-haired lady.
Okay.
She's got like a bunch of like Middle Eastern things apparently in like one of the other trailers.
Okay.
That just people found offensive. So.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I don't play this fucking game.
I don't either, yeah.
It looks like it looks like they've got a very kind of like they've got this kind of new area, new equipment and stuff. It's kind of hard. It's weird with this because this is a trailer for people that already play this game and know what the fuck this. They're like, oh my god, I can't believe, and I'm like, it's just static to me. Like,
that's just a lot of flashes of anime people.
Yeah, and
I don't really know what any of that means.
Yep. So. Yeah, Genshin Impact's getting an update. This recap from GameRant.com is incomplete. I just realized.
What's it missing?
Because after they showed that, and this YouTube video is so long that you can't figure out where it stopped. After that Genshin Impact, they showed the other game that they've got. Whoa, okay. We're missing stuff. Fuck, I was worried about that. This weird pirate game, this Tortuga thing, they showed that. Tortuga Pirate's Tale. Yeah, there was this Marauders from Team 17. Oh my god, there's all this. Wait, did I just... I'm just in the wrong place on this thing. Hold on for a second here, you guys. Nope. Okay, this thing just left a bunch of shit out because. Okay, fine. Anyway,
none of the big ones.
Yeah, it's fine. We're just gonna stick to it because we already have too much to go through. There was a trailer. There's I do know this though. MiHoYo or whatever the publisher for Genshin is, they have 3 games, right? They have Genshin.
Oh, was that the Star
Train thing?
People in the trains.
Yeah, where they're on the Star Train, and then they've got their weird Devil May Cry looking third-person anime with all the weird character designs.
Yeah, because at this point is when I started watching, so I saw everything from here on.
There you go. We got a boss fight from High on Life. Kotaku wrote a really inflammatory article this week about just like, I hate listening to Justin Roiland do the Morty voice. And I'm like, not me, baby.
Well, it's kind of just his voice, guys.
Yeah. Where it's just this gun doing Rick and Morty jokes at the boss.
You knew what this was.
Yeah. You know what you're getting into. I really want to play this game. I think this game looks great. I think it looks really like creative, and I am not tired of the Justin Roiland Morty voice. I'm totally willing to listen to that.
It all depends on as long as the jokes still make me laugh.
Yeah,
because that's the thing is that if like Rick and Morty, the last season taught me that if the jokes aren't very good, then I kind of zone out.
Yes. 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 But like Trover was fun.
Oh, Trover was great.
Trover was really fun.
I love Trover.
So
we did a whole thing for that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did an intro with Eggplant Jeff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It took me forever to key out the green top of Eggplant Jeff, and I made that thing with magic markers myself. So.
Didn't we sequential that one?
No, I don't believe so.
I guess I just played the whole thing.
Because it was a PSVR. That was when we played it. It was when it was PSVR, I believe.
Well, it was. You could still play it by itself, though.
Oh, or maybe it wasn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm all about High on Life. This game looks great. I'm totally into it. Yeah. What else were we missing? What the fuck was this? It's a bunch of shooting stuff, guys. Oh, that's Destiny. That's Destiny 2. Yeah. I remember because when it got to the end, I was like, what? And there's a whole bunch of shit going on with Destiny, Michael, and I don't know what it is, but like,
I guess I haven't been paying attention to Destiny in a long time.
This is Destiny 2 right here with these guys with the weird green things. Oh, no, never mind. It's called, Destiny 2, Lightfall. There's like big changes coming to Destiny 2. I don't know enough to say what they are.
Yay, question mark, Hellsinger.
Oh no, this is just when they gave somebody an award.
That's what I'm saying. They won quote unquote an award for being like. Well, that's the thing. Hellsinger was on like their fucking.
Oh my god, this is
nominees like 6 times.
Okay, I can't. We got to pick one of these. They showed more of that Expanse Telltale game that they're making. I big fan of the books. Don't watch the show. Try to watch the show.
Neither.
One time that the books where I couldn't square my head canon with the show didn't work. But this definitely looks like a really good looking Telltale game. Like they've obviously got some like ray traced lighting in here that makes it look all fucking super fancy and shit.
Well, I remember this was one of those ones where they're like, we want to make it look like more of an actual game.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that goes.
Characters are still a little stylized, but like, man, one thing we've learned in the era of ray tracing is that lighting can take you a long way.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
it can make anything look fucking amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, this is good. Like, if you're a fan of The Expanse, I know a lot of people some people I know that are fans of The Expanse are really big fans of The Expanse. It seems like a good, like the way that The Expanse universe is, it seems like a good fit for this because it's a bunch of like moral choices that you have to make as opposed to like how hard can you shoot the thing. That's
where Telltale really shines.
Yeah.
And stories that are better told that way.
Yeah. Yep. So
unlike their Jurassic Park game. That was fucking terrible.
Let's see from there. Speaking of terrible, Killer Clowns from Outer Space is terrible, but they are making a game out of it.
So yeah, this is the thing that I was talking about, or somewhat, was that if you want a game made out of something like with a weird license, it's got to have a weird ass gimmick.
Yeah,
and that's what this was. I remember watching this trailer live, being like, "What the fuck is this?" And then realizing what it was, I didn't know how to react.
I don't think I've ever watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I watched it once when I was young because somebody was like, "You got to watch this fucking thing."
Yeah,
and I was like, "This shit is fucking bonkers."
So yeah, it's going to be what, a multiplayer?
Yeah,
game?
it's made by the Friday the 13th guys.
Yeah,
specifically, and so it's another one of those asynchronous multiplayer games.
Yeah.
So and that's kind of a lot of people's only issues with it because that seems to keep happening.
Right.
Where somebody's like, they're making a game based off of that thing you really like. It's like, sweet, it's a multiplayer only game. Like, well, fuck.
Shit. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it appears to be one of those kind of games with the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So, I'm sure that if I'm wondering if any of those games have been successful.
Some of them have in some ways. The Evil Dead one sold really, really well.
Okay.
They're still making DLC.
And I guess Dead by Daylight does really well.
Dead by Daylight is the main one that's doing the best.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it was the one because that one is willing to have like a bunch of different things.
Right.
And I think that's the reason that one works, where a lot of these games suffer from the fact they only have the one thing that they're a part of.
The Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, Killer Klowns. I don't see this one going that far, to be honest.
Okay.
Like, I think it's a fun idea for whoever wants to play this, but I doubt people will love it that much because it's just the one movie as far as I know.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Early
much with that.
2023. Maybe it'll be on Game Pass. Yeah, maybe it'll be on Game Pass. Let's see. There was a really brief trailer for a game called Scars Above, which was appears to be like a third-person action sci-fi game.
Yeah.
With some really weird space madness going on. Very strange, like large, like kind of crazy stuff. I don't know. I'm all down for a space game. Yeah. Some comparisons to Returnal.
Yeah, I thought it was a Returnal thing originally, and then it turns out it wasn't. And I was like, oh.
It's also a teaser, so there's not a shitload here.
A lot of flashes, yeah.
But, I like a good third-person action game, and I like space, and I like cosmic horror. So if we're doing cosmic space horror with third-person action, sure, man.
It's big. It's coming back.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's coming back. I think it's already here.
Yeah, I'm cool with that, though. I'm absolutely cool with that.
Yeah. We saw Word Song.
It was a quick thing. It was like a minute at most.
Oh, yeah, it was a teaser. Real brief teaser.
And it's a lot of just like static images.
Yes.
For the most part.
Yes. It's from a bunch of people that made a bunch of RPGs that you like. Here's a thing.
Something about eyes. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's like I want to know more about this.
Yeah, we don't know what the fuck's going on. But it's enough to be like, well, I would like to know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I honestly I want every game to be the best game, Michael.
I do.
I want every game to be the best game I've ever played. Like, I'm not the fucking, I'm not like the angry video game. Well, James Rolfe has gotten a lot more. Here's things that I like over the years, but I'm not like the nostalgia critic where it's like,
no,
I want every game to be bad so I can make a YouTube video going like, it's terrible.
Yeah,
I want everything to be good. Can you imagine living in a world where every fucking game that came out was like a 10 out of 10?
That would be weird.
Like, holy shit.
It would be that Futurama thing where it's like, I must be in hell. It's like, who's going to believe you? You're Hitler.
Yeah. Age of Empires 4 is getting an expansion. Does everybody remember that Age of Empires 4 came out last year? Last year, there was a full new Age of Empires game.
Age of Empires 4 came out.
It was on Game Pass for the PC.
Some people like that.
I'm not a big fan of.
I said ew out loud. I was like, ew, Age of Empire.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this franchise.
I'm just bad at RTSs, so.
I'm not, but these are boring. It's like, can you harvest enough grain to make enough pikemen to be able to overcome the city walls of Constantinople? And I'm like, I don't care. Where's the Zerg button in this game? Like, I almost played the Star Wars one, but.
Oh, yeah.
These games also have like 4 different types of resources that you have to keep up with.
Really?
And it's just like, ugh, gross. So, anyway, there's a new expansion coming.
Good for them.
Ottomans, Malians. You get 2 new factions, the Ottomans and the Malians. So you can get a place to put your feet and a rug to put underneath the thing that your feet goes on. I don't know what the Malians do. I don't know about that, but
I have no idea.
Yeah. Is that coming? Oh, that's right. This is that's in October 25th. This is the one that had that really, really weird rendition of Smoke on the Water behind it.
It did.
I remember that now.
It was very strange.
Gotham Knights has a villains trailer. Oh, shit, we're out of time. Gotham Knights got a villains trailer. Does this make you any more excited to play Gotham Knights, Michael? Yes, no?
Not entirely, but I do like that they show that there are actual bosses in this game.
Yep.
So they showed off Clayface, Harley Quinn, and Mr. Freeze.
And Renee Montoya.
Yeah, and Renee Montoya's thing. Because apparently Batman and Gordon are both just dead.
Yeah.
They all died horribly off screen.
I've seen the Christopher Nolan movies. They're just in France fucking drinking
just
wine.
Hanging out.
Yep. Yeah, I like...
also Professor Pig. He's in there too.
Oh, okay. Okay. I kind of hate how this is part where they show Batgirl talking to Harley Quinn, and I just straight up, like, I thought I hated superhero costumes in Injustice 2, but like, Jesus, this Batgirl costume,
it's pretty awful.
Is hideous.
Luckily, there's a lot of different normal costumes in the game that you could probably wear.
Yeah, Harley's a little less shrill, which I'm not a fan of anymore because I like to.
It's really strange. Yeah, I'm so used to
Tara
Strong, but I'm also used to even fucking I forgot her name, but Katie Cuckoo
Kluka, yeah, whatever.
She's the one who does it, and even in the show does it enough to where like there's something very specific that I even like about that voice.
Right. And even Margot Robbie, like,
yeah, and then there's the original, Arlene Sorkin. So all those voices are what I'm used to.
Yeah.
So when none of them do that voice, it catches me the fuck off guard.
It's kind of like the Joker voice in the Red Hood animated movie.
Yeah.
Where it was like, where's the Joker part of this voice? Like,
just Bender.
Yeah. I like the way Clayface looks. Clayface is
he's hit or
goopy.
miss. He's super goopy. Is really my only issue with it because it's kind of gross.
He's a big goopy goop boy. It's interesting to see that. I wonder, Michael, would you play this game if they had a voice pack that made Clayface sound like he does in Harley Quinn?
Oh, absolutely. If there was a voice pack to make every single thing from Harley Quinn just happen,
yeah.
Like at one point you infiltrate the Court of the Owls and there's just an orgy going on in the middle of it, I'd be totally down with that.
Or Nightwing is done by Guillermo.
I'm cool with that. Yeah, I absolutely would pay for that pack.
Yeah.
Just be like, Batgirl. Huzzah.
Yeah.
Be like totally down with that. And Alfred Molina. It's fucking Mr. Freeze.
Was he Mr. Freeze in the show?
Yeah, he was Mr. Freeze in the show, yeah.
I mean, this, you know what? The more they show of this game, Michael, the more Marvel's Avengers vibes I get off of it. Like,
100%.
The more I see of it, the more I'm like, this looks competently executed, but nowhere near good enough to hold the mantle of fucking Batman. Like, no, sir. There's enough Batman in the world that, like, I can play Arkham. I can play the entire Arkham series right now, and it'll probably be better than this.
The most surprising, sad thing is this trailer is the most like interesting trailer they've come out with.
Yep.
But that's kind of just it, though. There's everything else about the game that I've seen just doesn't even have the energy of these trailers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I agree. Let's see. Let's see. What's next on the list? No, you know what? I think we're gonna wrap it up there. We don't have a million things left. We do have some stuff left, so we're probably gonna take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna power through what's left, and then see how much other news. The thing is that depending on how long it takes us to get through these last few trailers, it's like I also have like another 8 trailers from Gamescom that we have to watch. So like we might just be jumping from trailers to like, and then here's some release dates in the end. So but you'll find out all about that in just a minute. So stick around. We're back. Whew, I'm winded. I had to take my dog for a walk, so I'm all sweaty now. But that's all right. It's all right because we've got more Gamescom. Not a lot more Gamescom, but some more Gamescom left to go. Yeah. Next up, we've got Where Winds Meet, which is I don't know. It's like some kind of like Chinese third-person action game. There's some kind of. I don't know. What did you think about this one, Michael?
I thought somebody was really into Ghost of Tsushima. And was like, what if I tried that, but like not as good?
Yeah. I don't know. This reminds me a little bit of like, I feel like we're starting to get more like Chinese developed games that have a slightly different and I don't want to make any value judgments, but I feel like a lot of them remind me of like early last gen games.
I can see that, yeah.
That they're like they haven't, that their developers are still very much kind of going on like spectacle and kind of basic mechanics and stuff like that. This being a third person action game, it looks it reminds me of this game that Amanda and I played for Patreon that was like a Sword and Fairy Together Forever. It was like a third person action RPG kind of thing.
There's a lot of like mystical stuff going on with it. Like at one point he runs on water.
Yep.
And then he's climbing like I don't know. There's a lot going on in it. That it's just like I don't really know what's going on half the time because there's a lot of cutscenes of just weird shit. So I don't know. It could go either way.
It'll be interesting. I feel like it's only a matter of time before one of these like really does well and breaks through to. I mean, I guess maybe Genshin Impact is that, right? Like
sort of, yeah.
Chinese developed game that breaks through. This one has a little bit more Neo Soulsy vibes to it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Looks fine. Again, I would need. You know what I would need from a game like this if I was at me and I bought every fucking thing that came out was I would need somebody that I trusted online to be like, no, seriously, this is really good and you need to play it. Somebody that I trust.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it too, because a lot of it's not super polished. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how it plays out.
I mean, it's got very nice graphics, but nowadays that's not even like a thing anymore.
No, that hasn't been an issue anymore, thanks to the Unreal Engine just being fucking super doing all the heavy lifting nowadays.
Right. Unreal Engine 5, you could be like, yeah, you can make some really good. Like, where's that weird? What would I call it? Like Square Enix makes Devil May Cry. Game that one guy. Where the hell is that thing?
I haven't heard about that in a while.
I haven't seen whatever that is in a while. Hideo Kojima's there because he's friends with Jeff Keighley, and he's here to announce a podcast.
I was watching this live, and they're like, Hideo Kojima's here. I'm like, oh my god, I'm super excited. What is he gonna do? And then he's like, I have a podcast, guys. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
I mean, like, Hideo, I love you and shit, but like, we already know you've got 2 projects in the works. Like, announce one of them for fuck's sake. Something, And
he's like, podcasts. He's like, there's gonna be an English dub to my podcast. I'm like, I don't. This is going to be the one time, Kojima, I'm going to be like, I'm good, bro. I don't need this.
Maybe he's got a really weird podcast that goes in a lot of different directions. Maybe his podcast is best podcast.
See, I mean, my issue is that if I'm going to listen to Hideo Kojima, I want to listen to actual Hideo Kojima and not like the Sean Shamel version of Hideo Kojima or whatever their dub is going to be.
Right on.
Like I'm gonna be the subtitle bro for this fucking.
You're gonna watch
thing.
this podcast subtitled?
Yeah, if there's an option for it, sure. But I don't really want to listen to a dub of a guy who I want to actually hear talk.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a good concept of how interesting Hideo Kojima is as a person for extended periods of time.
Well, his Twitter's a lot of fun.
Those are small tweets, right? Like,
but that's the thing is like I want it to be like the actual guy. I don't want like the translated version of him that's like the English dub localization of Hideo Kojima talking for some reason.
You could just listen to the Japanese version and
unless
just be like,
oh,
very interesting.
David Hayter voices Hideo Kojima.
What about Norman Reedus?
Not Norman Reedus.
I don't have David Hayter, but I do have a Norman Reedus for you. Kiefer Sutherland? No? Oh, okay.
Guillermo del Toro, sure.
Guillermo del Toro.
With his broken English.
All right.
Makes it that much funnier.
Apparently Keely's going to have his own segment on the Hideo Kojima podcast. Yeah. I'll give it a try. It's going to be starting September 8th. It's called Brain Structure. It's on Spotify, for fuck's sake. Just listen to it and then turn it off if you don't like it.
I don't use Spotify, though, is the thing.
Bandai Namco put out a new trailer for Park Beyond, which we've seen before. Is their like Planet Coaster thing.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
It's basically Planet Coaster, but with a little bit more like fantastical shit that you could never get away with in the real world.
Yeah, it's some Willy Wonka shit.
Yeah,
which is not a bad thing.
What if this roller coaster just like shot through the air and
it went into space?
Yeah,
like crazy shit like that.
Nobody would survive. Everybody would die.
It's a cannon. Yeah, it shows like them shooting out a cannon at one point.
Yeah, it like shoots out of one side of a cannon and then flies unaided through the air. If there was wind, they would die.
They would die immediately. Yeah.
So, but yeah,
physics would stop them.
This looks fun. A lot of people like this style of game, so give it a shot. Whatever.
Yeah. Peoples will like it.
Yep. We saw a trailer for Blacktail. This is another Focus one. So weird Eastern European thing. This is like, this is a weird one where it was like this lady that has like she's like a witch that has like a good side and a bad side, and it's like depending on what you do, one of the sides will exert more control. Kind of a Gollum situation.
Because it's like either you're going to be the good witch or the bad witch,
or
probably not the mid witch
or the man witch. Yeah, I don't know. This is a weird one. It's very like bow and arrow focused.
Yeah.
I like this one arrow that's just a bee.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, bees?
Bees? Yeah, Focus Interactive is a dice roll. Like it could be flawed but fun, or it could just be trash.
Yeah. There's never really anything in between.
This looks like it's hewing a little closer to trash, to be honest. With the actual action doesn't look very interesting. But I don't know. Maybe the flavor of the world will make up for that.
The concept is interesting enough that I'll keep an eye on it, but outside of that, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Yep. Also, their logo has all these like pixel animals in it. It's very weird.
That it's got like a Pac-Man C.
Yeah, it's like really
It's very strange.
Logo's written in this weird 80s font, and it's just like
It's
what?
straight up the Pac-Man font, by the way.
Yeah. Dorfromantik is coming to the Switch. They just showed a trailer for Dorfromantik. Dorfromantik's been out on PC for a little while.
Yeah.
Dorfromantik rules. It's fun as hell. It's
pretty neat looking.
Yeah, it's a single player puzzle game where you basically have to like match one side of your hexagon up to the other stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then you get
fun.
score. And like when you score, you get more tiles. So it's kind of how long can you build your world before you run out of tiles and you got to start over. September 29th, coming to the Switch. Man and I already played that, I believe, for Patreon. Dorfromantik is really fun. So. The Outlast Trials is confusing.
Yeah.
Very confusing. We got a beta trailer for the Outlast Trials, which appears to be some kind of multiplayer online. I guess we knew that, but like, okay, let me put it this way. Original Outlast and what I played of Outlast 2 were very like, it's like, here's some horror, but it's very kind of like grounded right up until the very end of the game. I don't know if you know what happens at the very end of that game.
I forgot. I remember the first one, but I don't remember I never found out what happened in the second one.
Oh, I don't know either. But in the first one, yeah, it turns into fucking like nanoparticles, Resident Evil, like bullshit. Like
it's crazy shit.
Whole lab. This is like, what's that horror movie where it's all the different like monsters come out of the sewers and start terrorizing a neighborhood? I don't remember the name. But it's like there's a lot of monsters. There's a lot of like different. It's like Cabin in the Woods, right? Like bunch of different monsters, bunch of different weird things. I'm not entirely clear what the goal is outside.
I'm not
of just,
sure
like,
either so far.
Run away or like, is this asynchronous? Like, is somebody controlling the monsters? Can I play this single player? Like, what?
Yeah, it's not super clear yet of exactly what it is, but
yeah,
we'll see how we'll see how it plays out, I guess.
I don't know. I've always like, I liked the original Outlast, but I didn't like love it the way that some people just loved it. Like,
same.
Mostly because I found out that it's like what's that one where you can't look at the bad guys? Amnesia.
Oh, okay. I was about to go, that could be anything.
Where like at a certain point I stopped being scared, and so it's like then I learned that you could just kite guys. You don't have to hide in Outlast. You can just kite guys around a table until you figure out which way to go. And you just like run through a door, stay in front of them. I like the aesthetic of it. It's got this weird kind of 80s meets Saw kind of aesthetic. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. The beta is coming out October 28th, so you can register for the beta now. So there was that. Then there was, then we finished up with the official trailer, full-on trailer.
It does exist.
Dead Island 2. Michael, what do you think about this trailer for Dead Island 2?
I'm not super interested, to be honest, because I don't really care anymore. Dead Island was announced almost a decade ago.
Dead Island 2?
So it's like, Dead Island 2 was announced almost a decade ago.
Yeah. And
this trailer is just like, it's fine, I guess. Like, the thing about Dead Island that was interesting was it was this first-person melee-focused type thing at times.
Mm-hmm.
But Dying Light has really been that thing for a while now.
Yeah. This is a different trailer
Like it's got more comedic stuff going on in it.
Yeah,
but it's still not enough for me to be like, I'm excited. I'm like, it looks fine, but I'll have to wait to see how people are cool with it.
This is a different trailer than the one they showed at the Game Awards or Gamescom. Yeah, because it was a character trailer. It was this one. They have several different characters, and the trailer that they showed at the end of the Gamescom was like this guy like going out to get supplies, and it was like a montage.
Oh, so the trailer they had was the second trailer they showed.
Yes.
There are two trailers.
Yeah.
The first trailer is the one that you're thinking
God,
of.
that Pokemon car. I forgot about that fucking thing.
Yeah, the second trailer is the one that we were looking at right now, which was the gameplay itself.
Okay.
Because the first trailer, it was a character thing, which was a fun enough trailer.
Yeah, but
it still comes down to like, this is fine, I guess. Like
you can just do whatever. I mean, like
the joke me and my friends had was, we can't wait to play Zoe or Larry Kravitz or whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, like I was hoping that they were gonna like. They had those voices in the original,
that first trailer
that had Jack Black in it, right? Like,
I was hoping to find out like who all those people were,
right?
But we don't really know who any of these characters still.
Yeah, well,
this comes out pretty soon.
They've got a whole bunch of characters, a whole bunch of different like slayers. But if that's anything like the first one, it's like, yeah, you got a bunch of different characters. Are they really all that different? Not really. Like they have like a one special power type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, you're especially when you consider that the original Dead Island had that like the backwards trailer that was like,
that trailer was fucking amazing, but had nothing to do with that game.
Everybody got fucking like psyched about. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I part of me is also a little leery about Dambuster being the developers on this.
Well, here's the thing. It's the game that's been, again, was announced almost a decade ago, and we heard nothing about it until all of a sudden Dead Island 2 was the thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to be excited about something you don't know that had nothing in between that giant time frame.
You know what they could have done? I don't know. I don't think they did it, but you know what they could have done that would have made this interesting is they could have remixed "Who Do You Voodoo Bitch" for the trailer from the rapper guy from the first one.
Yeah, that could have been something somewhat interesting.
Because it looks very generic. Like it doesn't have anything to really like recommend it outside of like, okay, it looks very gory. It looks like Dead Island. It's in LA.
Going on. Yeah,
so there's that. Like, is it funny? Is it a comedy more than because that was what I actually really wanted from the second one, was from that trailer with the guy running, right?
Yeah.
Where it was like, oh, it's going to be a comedy. This second one, it's going to be like Portal, but with killing zombies, or Dead Island 3 or Dead Rising 3. Like.
Yeah, because I would have liked to have seen more stuff for it, but all of a sudden we're just like, oh, by the way, Dead Island 2 is the thing. It's like, I guess.
And when is it? It's coming out February of next year.
So I'm hopeful that they'll show more stuff in between that, and maybe that will be more interesting. But currently, I'm just like, well, that's fine.
Yeah,
because I wasn't even that big of a fan of Dead Island 1 to begin with. So
that's true. That's very true. Yeah, Dead Island, like, it was kind of fine at the beginning, but it kind of had one trick and it kind of wore out.
It teetered out very fast.
Yeah.
A lot of people turned on it pretty quickly until people modded it to where you could punch things into like the stratosphere.
I remember the problem with Dead Island was that it had level scaling.
Yeah.
So you never got outside of the power curve.
Exactly.
Which was really unsatisfying because you would get like, oh, here's brass knuckles with Wolverine claws that are also electric and on fire. And it's like, it doesn't matter. The regular zombies are still just as powerful as they were 10 hours ago.
Yeah, it destroyed the whole point of it, which is why, again, people didn't really have fun with it until they started modding it to where they could be like the thing where they wanted to do, which was be like a god on the fucking island.
Yep. And that was it. There was a little bit more in there. We missed a few things, I'll be honest.
There's some stuff in there.
Pikachu car, fucking space train. It was in there, but
there was, if you want to go watch it, you can watch the rest of that's in there.
Yeah, you just fast forward through all the parts we already talked about that you don't need to watch anyway.
Yeah, this was all the big stuff for the most part.
We also, though, I did bring this one out because we also got the announcement of the DualSense Edge, which is the PlayStation 5 answer to the Xbox Pro controller.
So what is this?
It's the answer to the Xbox Elite controller. Sorry, not Pro, Elite controller, where it's like you can adjust the sensitivity on the buttons and you can take out the sticks and replace them with like different customizable modern sticks. Like you can adjust the pull on the triggers. It's got some back buttons to it. It's basically what the Xbox Elite controller is, but it's a PlayStation version.
Oh, and I'm sure it's just as expensive.
Almost certainly. They didn't announce anything as far as pricing goes, but it is almost certainly going to be hella expensive. Like
that's the only reason I've never bought an Elite controller, because I was like, oh, maybe I'll buy an Elite controller.
like
it's
$150.
Yeah, 150 to like at the minimum or something.
Oh no,
like
yeah, I saw an article saying that it was on sale this week for $150, and I was like, no, thank you.
I was like, oh, fuck you guys. I don't need that much nonsense at the moment, so I'm good.
Yeah. So yeah, but they announced that. So if you're interested, boom. Let's see how many we got. 45 minutes. Let's see how many stories we can get through. This is less than a normal news week anyway. So let's see what we can do, and then as we run out of time, we'll get faster and faster until I start axing everything, and then we just go to the end. So like a normal week. All right. Speaking of Sony, Sony is being sued in the EU for $5.9 billion.
This one I heard about.
Yeah. For ripping people off with their digital game purchases. The lawsuit basically says that like Sony jacks up, the price by 30%, and it's anti-competitive, and et cetera, et cetera. Now, I don't know about you, but when I first read this, it was like, well, what about Nintendo? What about Xbox? What about, like Sony builds the console, they have a store on the console. But there was one thing as I looked through here that I didn't know, and I don't know if you knew this either.
Was it the other sue thing?
What?
Was the other time the other guys tried suing them?
No. Earlier this year or some point last year, at some point in the past, over the recent past, Sony has disabled the ability to buy a PlayStation game code offline and then enter it in to get a game.
Oh.
So that
I didn't know about.
That actually does technically make it so that like Sony controls all sales. Like with Xbox and Steam, you can buy a code from a website. You can even buy stuff off of Amazon.
Codes,
and then you can put it in. But if Sony took that part out, then that really does lock their ecosystem down to the point where it's like, well, you can't buy a digital game for a Sony platform anywhere but on the PlayStation Store, where Sony gets a 30% markup, and you literally can with those other platforms. Like, so that's a reasonable justification, and I'm generally in favor of the European Union's. Like, I like the fact that they have a lot of pro-consumer laws over there.
Oh, 100%.
That we don't have here, where they're just like, no, you can't.
You
can't.
Yeah.
You can't do it like that. But on the other hand, there's this quote where the Alex Neal, the consumer rights advocate who filed the lawsuit, said, "We're in the midst of a cost of living crisis, and the consumer purse is being squeezed like never before." Like as a justification for this, of just like everything's so expensive, and Sony is the worst of them all. And it's like, well, okay, guys, I really like your pro-consumer stance, but on the other hand, like, if inflation is a thing, I'm feeling it. We're all feeling it. I get it, but like, if you can't afford God of War, that's not the same as like if you can't afford like bread or gas or rent.
It's
like,
not really the same thing.
It's not. Yeah. So also, I'm a little bit leery about this because, again, I mean, I guess with the advent of the fact that there are discless versions of some of the consoles now,
I think that's the main reason for it.
So that you're forced directly into the digital store. I guess, if you add all that up, it does make a certain amount of sense. If you bought a digital-only PS5 and you can't buy codes from anywhere else, then the only way for you to get games is going to be directly through Sony. So that makes their like price controls more apt for scrutiny, right?
Yeah, it's a lot trickier that way because of that fact. And there's a lot less ways of saving money through the PlayStation Store currently than there are on the Xbox One and Series X and Series S, specifically the Series S, actually.
Yeah.
Because the Game Pass is great for that. But the PlayStation Premium or whatever is fairly new and doesn't have nearly as much.
Not as good,
currently. So, like, at the moment, digital PlayStation 5 users are kind of at the mercy of that currently.
Yeah. I you know what? I would be in favor of if they came to an agreement that just made Sony open up the ability to buy codes, right? Like if they had to reinstate that functionality, I'm fine with that. Because, I mean, like, here's the thing. I'm I'm generally pro Sony. I'm less platform evangelism than I used to be. I used to be very much a Sony guy. I think everybody knew that.
Yeah.
People complain about it. These days, I don't give a shit. Like, it's fine. I've got all of them. It doesn't matter. I've got all of them and a PC that'll play games too.
Yeah, you're sad.
Allegiance to no one. No one has my allegiance.
The only allegiance I don't have is the PC, and that's more because I don't want to spend the money on it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And I got the Raspberry Pi in case none of the rest of this works. So
You also have that too, yes.
but so I don't, for me, like, it's not as big of a deal, but I really do think that I'm not a Sony does shit like this where they get too greedy, and they'll do shit that is not in the best interest of consumers. If you give them competition, then they will give you, like, the fact is the only reason that we even got free games on a subscription service was because Sony had to figure out a way to break into the Game Pass market, but that was only because they didn't care about that market until it was already established. And they were like, well, we need to compete with this. And then the only reason that we got a Game Pass was because, well, first Microsoft put games on there, and then Game Pass, and then the only reason that Sony is putting things like Game Pass is because Microsoft did that to compete with them. Sony doesn't do this stuff out of the goodness of their heart. They only do it when they're shamed into it. So
because they used to be the free online.
Yep.
When Xbox Live was like, well, you can talk to the people and you have to pay for that.
Yeah.
And so Sony, when they made their subscription, they're like, well, then you get free games for it.
Right.
And then Xbox was like, well, now you get free games here, and they're just like, well, and so it was just a back and forth over and over again until finally Game Pass was the final like punch in the face that was pretty hard not to ignore.
Yep.
And PlayStation took a long time to figure that shit out.
They've been ignoring Game Pass for like a year and a half.
Yeah, they were kind of just hoping it would fail.
Yeah.
And it just didn't. So they're like, oh, well, now people are talking shit about us now, so we should look into it.
You remember that whole saga with you can cross-play Fortnite on anything but PlayStation?
Yeah, that was a whole thing. Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of PlayStation. Like, I like PlayStation stuff. I like a lot of their games, and I like their hardware sometimes. I'm not a big fan of the PS5 as I was the PS4. I don't like the big, swoopy...
the look of it is the pain is a pain.
Every time
far.
I move it, it comes off of that stand because I have it horizontal, and it sucks.
And I don't have room to make it stand.
Yeah. But... So I think, go on with your bad self, Europe. Like, drag Sony into court and make them do something good for consumers. They probably will if you shame/law them into it.
Yeah. And here's hoping that law causes them to do something that sticks on in America too.
Yeah. Yeah. As opposed to like Blizzard, it's just like, well, we're not going to release Diablo Immortal in Belgium because they won't let us have loot boxes.
Yeah.
Like,
we're just not going to do it.
We're just not going to do it.
Done.
Yeah. Let's see. From there, we also got some details this week on the PSVR 2. We finally got a time that it's coming out, early 2023.
Yeah.
And we got a brief like kind of trailer for it. But it's interesting. It's weird. I don't know, Michael. I don't know if you're really have been keeping up with this stuff, but for me it was like I just kind of assumed that PSVR was going to be happening someday in the future. I don't know when. It's better not to think about it.
Yeah, I figured that was the case. Yeah.
And now it's like, oh yeah, I don't know, within the next 6 months maybe, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'll give it a shot.
All price wise, it depends on that.
Yeah, and, no price yet.
I probably won't be able to buy it day one though, because it might be one of those real expensive ones.
I don't know. What do you think? 400? 500?
I'm guessing 400.
400?
Because that was how much the last one was. And this is even better than that one was.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling it could be that amount again.
Or will they try to I guess Oculus or Meta raised the Quest price.
Yeah, and those were already like 400 to begin with. So
yeah, 400 minimum. Can't be anything below 400.
Because I bought my Quest for about that amount, I think.
Yeah.
Like that. Although it turns out after I bought it, my brother got a fucking job at Facebook. He's like, I could have just got you one. I'm like, God damn you.
Well, say it next time. Why don't you? Let's see. From there, this is kind of Sony adjacent news, but the rumors last week were true. Death Stranding is coming to the PC on Game Pass.
Yeah.
It not just like it's already been on Steam for a while, but the PlayStation exclusive is coming to Xbox Game Pass.
Apparently it's not the director's cut though. That's the only thing I've heard about.
That's true. Yes, it isn't the director's cut. But then also the weird thing is that the Sony had no involvement whatsoever with this. It was basically just like the console rights belong to Sony. But like once it's on PC, there's no deal. They didn't sign any deal saying like, yes, you can release it on the PC, but it can't be like once the timed exclusivity ran out, it was like it's on PC, but nobody ever said like only Steam, right, or only Epic. So
you can do what you want.
Apparently, the publisher, which I think it was it 505?
Yeah, if I remember correctly,
was able to negotiate with Microsoft and be like, "Hey, can we put this on the PC?" And they were just like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah. A Kojima game? Yes, please.
So yeah, if you haven't played Death Stranding and you've got a PC that can handle it, I highly recommend Death Stranding. I played it twice. Don't tempt me to play it again because I might.
I bought it to play it again. I haven't yet, but I will eventually.
Just don't start it. As long as you don't start it, you're fine.
That's the thing. I haven't started it because I know the second I do, it'll be all my life.
Yep.
So yeah.
2 months later, you're like, well, finally beat Death Stranding. I'm going back to the world.
Yeah. I did all the pizza missions this time. That's my plan, actually.
Told you before, and I'll tell you again, ladies and gentlemen, it is a stone cold trip to play Death Stranding in 2022. Like, it was very weird to play because it came out before the pandemic, and then like you go play it now and you're just like, oh, nobody trusts each other and the country is fractured and only an Amazon delivery guy can get you to go back onto Facebook again, and you're just like,
this is too real now.
Weird.
Super real now.
Weird. Yeah. Let's see. In other Game Pass news, last week, Game Pass got a bunch of id and Bethesda games. They put Return to Castle Wolfenstein, Quake 4, Wolfenstein 3D, Elder Scrolls Battlespire, and Elder Scrolls Adventures Redguard all came onto Game Pass. So
that's interesting.
You're looking for some retro shit. They also said that there's going to be some free games. Arena, Daggerfall, and Quake Champions are going to be free. This is all for QuakeCon, so
it's fun.
Yeah. So yeah, that happened. Let's see from there. In other Microsoft adjacent news, Blizzard came out with a big explainer last week about Diablo 4, going into excruciating detail about the monetization structure of Diablo 4 and how it's totally not pay to win, and it's totally not, and it's not pay to win.
Yeah,
it's not
a phone game.
Yep.
Please buy us. Please trust us.
What they did say out loud, which I just at this point, let me say what it is, and then I can be pessimistic about it. They're going to have a battle pass on it. So, like, Diablo currently has seasons, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know how seasons work. When a new season works, it's like you have to start a new character into that season.
Oh, I did not know that.
And then there's, like, very specific, like, rewards that you get for playing through that season as a way to get players to start over and basically play the whole game again, right? So it'll be a seasonal thing where they'll be like, oh, here's the rewards for this season. So you start a new character, blast through Diablo in a slightly different altered format. Boom. They're converting those seasons into battle passes, and now they'll have two tracks. There's going to be the standard track where you get stuff, and then there's a paid track where you can buy it.
Okay, it's one of those.
Yeah. The standard track, no, the paid track, one of the tracks will also have some XP boosters on it. XP boosters will... Wait a minute. I could be wrong about there being a paid track. I could be wrong about that. I think there is.
I would assume there would be if they're releasing it as a battle pass.
Let's see. Season journey objectives progress towards the season pass. Enable players to more rewards, both free rewards and paid rewards. Okay, so here's the thing. Yes, there will be. I believe there is paid. If I'm not reading that correctly. There are XP boosters in the Battle Pass, but you can't buy them outside of the Battle Pass. So they can't rely on you using that like they do in Diablo Immortal.
Yeah.
There is a freemium currency that you can buy. This, I don't really understand how this works, Michael. This baffles me. Will be for buying skins. So you also get the freemium currency from the battle pass, but you'll use it to buy 100% purely cosmetic skins. Now, I don't know about you, Michael, but I give absolutely no shits what my guy in Diablo looks like.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what they look like in Diablo.
Yeah.
They're real far away.
They're real zoomed out. And like, yeah, this Wraith Lord looks pretty cool, but like, I don't care. Like, I just don't, like, I don't give a shit. In fact, later on in this article that they put up on their website, they show, like, this is what you get from the one. These are side-by-side screenshots for everybody listening. This one on the left is what you get from the battle pass. This one on the right is a paid cosmetic. And these are examples of how, like, here's something cool you get from the game. Here's something cool that you can get from the store. And it's like, these are not really all that different. I would be just fine with the free shit that you get. Like,
well, because again, it comes down to the fact that when you play Diablo, you're never like close enough to the character for that to matter as much.
Exactly.
So it's not really all that like interesting unless you just want to look different than the guy next to you.
I guess maybe for people to play online.
It's the only thing that makes sense to me.
The other thing that's weird about this is that, like, I thought about this in relation to old Overwatch skins, and like Overwatch skins were very creative. They were very different looking.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't make any sense to make like a safari barbarian with a pith helmet and a khaki shirt. Like, you'd be like, what the fuck? No, I don't want that.
Very confused. Yeah.
Like, here's schoolgirl necromancer, and it's like, what? No, I don't want that.
Somebody's gonna buy that.
So, anyway, it's really weird. Okay, so this is what I want to say at the beginning. So now that I've described everything, Michael, I really hope I'm wrong, and I'm saying this in the hopes that it can be one of those things where Jeff said a thing and then Jeff was wrong. I think Diablo 4 is gonna suck assholes. Like, I think it's gonna be bad.
I'm not I'm not too keen on Diablo 4, to be honest, because they haven't.
The track record is terrible.
Yeah, the track record
terrible.
has been so bad for the past 5-6 years, if not more.
Yep.
Like, as soon as Overwatch came out, that was the last really big bit of goodwill I had towards this company.
It was once they kicked that guy out of the one league, Hearthstone League for
Free Taiwan or whatever.
Free Taiwan, and then it was just like downhill from there every fucking week. Do you remember how this podcast used to fucking live and breathe Fallout 76 news?
Oh yeah.
And then Blizzard just like came in and took the mantle. They were like, hold my beer.
As hard as they could. And it's been them ever since.
I just, like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Everything I just said out loud is like, okay, you want this? I mean, they even talk about it here where they want this to be a live service. I'm like, that's not what I want out of Diablo. Congratulations, you know, this is no good. Like,
good luck with that.
I have no interest in a live service Diablo. I want to play Diablo single player and want to click skeleton king.
Grand Theft Auto 5 really ruined it for everybody.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's terrible. So that happened. Let's see. We got an interview with Phil Spencer on it was like a Bloomberg podcast, where he basically came out and said, whether this is true or not, I mean, who knows? Phil Spencer seems like he's not a lying sack of shit, but who knows whether the person that comes after him and or his bosses are lying pieces of shit.
Yeah, that's the issue.
But he kind of came out and he talked about how he thinks that the concept of console exclusives is outmoded, and we'll probably be seeing less and less of them as time goes on. Now, it's funny to think about that because, one, like, it's really interesting that console exclusives aren't really important after Microsoft has proven that console exclusives can't move units anymore.
Yeah.
Like, now that you have to rely on just giving people free games instead of console exclusives. Real interesting how that worked. And then two, the idea that it's not going to be a thing moving forward is also kind of interesting, considering you're buying every fucking gaming company.
That's true.
So, like, of course not.
They need to make money still, so
yeah.
You can't just buy the company and be like, it's only on Xbox now. It's like, yeah, but nobody really cares about that nowadays.
Yeah.
And it helps that most of their stuff's on PC anyways, so hasn't really been an exclusive for a long time.
Well, but Starfield's going to be that, right?
Is it?
It's locked to Game Pass,
locked
to Xbox.
Yeah, that I think is one of them. Yeah, But that's what he's saying over time.
Yeah.
But he's like, he means more like the other stuff that everybody wants right away, like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I think those are the ones that they definitely were like, well, we're just not gonna do that anyways.
Yeah.
But with Starfield, that was a hell of a get, and that was a big old like, haha.
Yeah.
So they needed to justify that in the beginning right away. So
an existing IP or a new IP like Starfield, you could justify it.
Yeah.
I mean, like Deathloop was a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
a while. You know, Tokyo.
I almost said Mirage Sessions.
I was trying not to say the same thing.
That's the first thing that popped in my head.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah, Ghostwire.
Yeah. I mean, those deals were made before the acquisitions, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I don't know if Elder Scrolls 6. That's not going to be exclusive, right?
I don't really know.
I don't think we know yet.
They never really said.
I don't think we have an announcement on that yet. So, any hoozles. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, like, Phil Spencer seems like a genuinely decent business guy, like, trying to just be like, here. He's like a divorced dad trying to give you toys to make you like him.
He even looks like one.
Yeah. And you're just like, no, can I stay at dad's house? He's got all the cool stuff. Like
Phil Spencer is a showman who's really good at his job.
Yeah.
And he was able to make people believe the Xbox was this very exciting thing for a long time.
Yep.
Even though everyone knew full well it was not.
Yeah. God, they couldn't have got rid of Bobby Kotick fast enough.
No. He was very good. He's the ultimate like guy who's hype man for consoles, and I kind of love him for it, to be honest.
Yeah. Let's see. Speaking of acquisitions, Embracer Group is on a real tear. I really don't know who the fuck these guys are, but they bought the Lord of the Rings IP rights, gaming IP rights.
I heard about this.
Also, Tripwire, the makers of Killing Floor. Also, Tuxedo Labs, who make the game Teardown.
Jesus, guys.
Yeah. I don't know who these guys are.
I don't know either, but they seem to just be like, here's money, do what you want, and just make us money. It seems to be the end of it. The end of the conversation, which is fascinating.
Do you think it's going to be like the CEO of Embracer Group with just like a Daft Punk helmet? Let's find out who you really are. And it's like,
Phil Spencer.
Gwyneth Paltrow, or I don't like.
You're buying more shit. This is the only way I could get past the fucking FCC or whatever.
Yeah,
but no, the Embracer's fascinating. The thing that's interesting about this Lord of the Rings thing is that people are speculating that it might be causing issues with multiverses.
Interesting,
because people data mine multiverses again, but now all the Lord of the Rings shit isn't mentioned in any of the data.
Oh,
so people are wondering if this is causing some issues with that. But they're not sure is the issue.
Oh yeah, they're a Swedish holding company.
Yeah, it's very strange. They came out of nowhere.
They're so fucking
and all of a sudden
weird.
they're just like, Embracer about this, Embracer about that. It's like, what's happening?
They started a long time ago. They got Joe Wood, the Austrian game publisher, in 2011.
Yeah, they've had THQ since 2013. Yeah.
2016 they got Nordic.
They've just slowly been amassing things like a fucking Infinity Gauntlet.
I think that what's happening is that now, like with the Square Enix buy, that it's like you rolled a rock down a mountain and now it's turning into this giant snowball where you couldn't even see it before, and now you're just like, who are you?
It's working out really well for them, and I'm curious as to what the future of these game studios will be from here on.
God, I hope they don't turn evil. I hope it's not actually the Undertaker. Like
Turns out it was Kane the whole time.
That's right. It's just Kane from WWE. It'll be nice though. I mean, like, the thing is that if they just keep buying studios and then letting them make the video games that they want to, I'm cool with that.
I'm totally cool with that if that's what they do. Because that seems to be the case, to be honest.
Because the other option was Square Enix shuts down Eidos.
Yeah,
and
that was that's unacceptable.
Yeah,
so this was a good deal. So
Square Enix shutters Crystal Dynamics. Like, I could have read that.
That could have been an actual thing.
Last week, I could have read that headline.
Gex is added to the Avengers.
Let's see. Speaking of really weird shit. Boy, that Knights of the Old Republic remake, things are not going well over there.
Okay, so what more worse has happened to it now?
So Okay,
This developer's here, by the way, in the city.
yes. Not anymore.
Are they not? Is that how bad it is?
So when last we heard, Aspire, who has done a lot of the ports for
A lot of the Star Wars
stuff,
games, yeah.
had shown off their build of Knights of the Old Republic, and immediately the art director and like the executive producer were fired, and like the thing was put on pause. Like it happened immediately. That was a little ways back. This week it came out that they took that shit away from Aspire and gave it to Saber Interactive.
Oh, wow.
So, like, the whole project is no longer in their hands. And they're being given to Saber Interactive's Eastern European studios. Strangely enough, Embracer Group owns both Aspire and Saber Interactive.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, apparently, Aspire was not doing a very good job. I looked up Saber Interactive. Saber Interactive's been around for a long time.
They've been around
done
for a while.
Shitload of port work over the years.
They helped with the Ghostbusters stuff.
I think they ported like several of the Halo games to PC.
Yeah.
So they seem like the sort of place that might have a good handle on, like, they've got a staff that has a lot of experience, and they've got a lot of experience porting games to different things.
Yeah.
So like, they seem like they might be a safe choice. I mean, I didn't think Aspire would just fall on their face and fart themselves to death like they did. But
I didn't expect that. Yeah, that's the thing. It happened so suddenly.
Like, I don't know if like they showed it and it was like Darth Revan came out and just like unzipped his front and pulled his dick out, and everyone was like, "What did you do? Why?" And they're like, "No, we thought it would be raunchier this way," and they were just like, "No."
Yeah, it could have either been that, or they did the opposite, where they show up looking like fucking Disney cartoons, and they're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah,
like, well, we're owned by Star Wars is owned by Disney now. We thought we could make it like Kingdom Hearts. And they're like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Too bad. Blue Point is Sony now, because they could have been an interesting choice for this.
Yeah, they would have been a really solid choice.
So. But yeah, anyway,
it's fucking weird.
It's very weird.
Shot the bed so hard that Embracer, the company that apparently has done nothing to these to studios for a long time, finally was like, no.
Yep. Get it out of here. Well, better that than letting it languish in development hell for 2 more years and then come out broken. Like,
it was the smart move. It was 100% the smart move. Aspire should have realized that was what exactly what would have happened with this exact situation.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. From there, I
heard about this. I read this entire thing. Yeah.
It's a very strange thing. So there's a game called A Space for the Unbound that is being made by Toge Productions and Mojikin Studio. That's like an Indonesian like kind of adventure game with these 2 siblings, and is being published by P-Cube, which people probably P-Cube is a UK publisher. I feel like I've seen their name on a lot of the crappy Tit Ninja games that I've played over the years.
Good stuff. They're also the ones that everyone was making fun of their symbol for, I think, at one point.
Ah, yes. So apparently, in a tweet, these guys claim that P-Cube registered for and received a grant that was set up in the UK for making games that had a basis with indigenous people, or with basically trying to get some diversity, right? Like not just a white anime guy. They got this grant money and then didn't give it to the developer
at all,
and used it to basically raise their market capital ranking and like the stock exchange. And that they found out about it and they were like, okay, so we're obviously like, P-Cube was going to be publishing this game on consoles. They're like, well, we cannot trust these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
We're afraid to say that the game is going to be significantly delayed because we're going to have to figure out who the new publisher is. Unfortunately, this is worse than that, because P-Cube is like, we didn't do shit. Like, we gave them more money than we said that we would. We've honored all of our obligations and our publishing agreement, and these motherfuckers keep asking us for more time and resources than we agreed to for this particular project. We'll see you in court for the publishing rights, basically.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's very much a Frogwares Nacon kind of thing.
It's kind of insane.
But yeah, the thing about this one is that it's hard to know it's hard to know if both sides, if all of that statement, the initial statement is true, that's a shit thing to do.
Yeah.
It could, I don't know. It could be true. It could not be true. Like, there's nothing that says indie game devs can't lie on Twitter.
That's true.
So
well, we've seen some instances of indie game devs going fucking crazy. So.
Yeah. I mean, the reason that I hammer on Nacon is because Frogware's put out unassailable proof that this is what happened.
That was an open and shut case on that one.
Yeah, like they publish a lot of information about what happened.
He said, they said kind of issue. So
yeah, I mean, hey, the game looks fun and I'd like to play it. I hope they get it worked out. I hope that whoever is in the wrong here has to. I mean, the only thing that sets off my bat signals, right, is P-Cube's like. Well, I guess for P-Cube, it's like. If they're playing square, right, and they did give these guys a bunch of money to develop this game, and then these guys come out on Twitter to drag them and basically be like, we want more money, and like, well, we gave you the money that we said we would give you, and they're like, well, if you don't give us more money, then we're gonna make the story public on Twitter, blah blah blah. Then P-Cube might be inclined to dig in their heels and be like, well, then I will see you in fucking court.
Yeah.
Like, we will drag this shit out. I will keep putting out games and we will bankrupt you to the ends of the earth.
That's a tricky thing.
It's hard to know.
Yeah.
Hard to know. I would like for it to be that the scrappy indie game underdogs are the good guys, and everything they allege is true, and P-Cube is the horrible publisher that is shitty, and they get their just desserts, and they all get a spanking in fucking London Square Gardens, whatever, wherever the court is. Where do they have court in England? The clock? Is it in the clock?
I don't know how that works.
It's the court's at the top of the clock? I don't know. I don't know what happens.
Hey, kids, Big Ben.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. What's our time looking like here?
I have no idea.
All right, we're gonna skip over some stuff and get to them trailers. Oh my god! I don't know if you read this, but GameStop said that this is just other horrible shit news. GameStop has now said that they're giving out some bonuses to some of their leads and some of the people below them, but for like for managers and leads, but for like the overall manager of their store, instead of a bonus, they're going to be vesting them with GameStop stock that is vested for 3 years, meaning you can't do anything with it for 3 years.
Oh, God.
Which is like, okay, I've been part of companies that had stock plans before. I've gotten stock as like a bonus, right?
Yeah.
It sucks because you want money. I want money to go do. You can't spend stock on fucking hookers and Lone Star. Like,
no, yeah.
But if there was any stock in this world that I would not trust to still exist 3 years from now, it would be GameStop.
Yeah.
Like, they got their meme stonks, right?
That worked once.
Yeah.
It's not going to work again.
But, like, I haven't seen or heard anything that makes it sound like GameStop still isn't just, fucking bobbleheads and gift cards and would you like to pre-order all these games and all these Prima strategy guides 18 months in advance?
Yeah, they've really gone downhill, to be honest, a lot of those GameStops.
Yeah. Let's see. What else we got? That's not interesting. That came out a month ago. Let's just go to trailers. Yep. We already talked about the Game Awards coming back in December. Let's go to trailers. We got a very, very, very small tease of The Last of Us in this HBO kind of put out this montage of things coming out.
Yeah. And
it had a real brief section of The Last of Us. Now, Jeff, of course, has a heart of stone and hates everybody and everything. Hopes that all of your dreams die. This looks... I don't know. Maybe you should start. Maybe you start, Michael. What do you think about the way that this looks?
It looks fine.
Yeah.
That's the thing is that it does, like, The Last of Us wasn't exactly like something that needed fantastical imagery.
Sure.
It's a thing that takes place in a real world where the post-apocalypse fungus people happen to be a thing.
Yeah.
So all you have to really do is make the fungus people work, and that's kind of it.
They didn't really show any of the fungus people.
Yeah, they didn't show any fungus people.
They showed Nick Offerman in a wall with some shit on it.
Yeah, the art direction itself isn't too bad so far, but we'll really have to see how it plays out as it progresses.
I don't know. I hate to just like criticize this lady that's playing Ellie. I need to like hear her say something. Because
that's really,
she really doesn't have the look of what the Ellie looks like in the which is not a big thing.
No, it's
right?
not. It's all about acting.
Yeah, but she doesn't have any lines in this little brief snippet.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see some lines from her to see if she's got that Ellie energy, right?
Yeah. And it shows off some stuff that's clearly from like the opening part of The Last of Us.
Yeah.
And who knows if it'll be like the opening scene of the show, or if maybe it'll be flashbacks. Who knows?
Who knows? But actually, we don't have to just rely. We have not just one Last of Us, Michael, but two, because we got the launch trailer for the remake.
Oh yeah,
it's coming out next week.
This is pre-golf club, Joel.
Oh, spoilers! Last of Us 2. I mean, I gotta be honest. Like, Last of Us still looks good. Like, it's a good-looking game with like nice graphics and everything. I'm still kind of in the camp of like a full price, really.
That's really the issue I have with it, is that it's a full price game. Because I wouldn't mind replaying the first Last of Us, because I only played it the one time on a PS3 like ages ago.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind, being like, I'll give this newer version a shot, since I don't remember the story as well.
Mm-hmm.
But but then the full price part happened
for a full
$70.
I
was like, no, I'm good.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe the thing is, maybe I should take it's time for you and I to take my advice and be like, this shit's gonna be on that PlayStation service early next year, probably for a download. And if it's not, like 4 months from now, it'll be a Black Friday deal. There'll be a January PlayStation sale, post holiday sale.
Yeah, I'll buy it on sale or something. Whatever, and because PlayStation games do hit sales.
Yeah,
they're not like Nintendo where they're full price and then they're $20 more somehow 2 years later.
Right.
So
it does look all the stuff they've done. It does look very, very good. Like, it looks very, very good. It's very good looking. It's real sharp. All the faces and all the environments look very, very nice. It would be interesting. It's interesting to think that they upgraded this to the point where you could play 1 and 2 back to back, and they have parity for visuals. Like, it wasn't going to be weird going from 1 to 2.
Yeah, that's kind of the only reason they did it. It was the idea that they did with Spider-Man, where they're like, well, we remade the game with the face that's going to be his face from here on,
right?
So that way it's easier to like not have that cognitive dissonance.
Oh God, they haven't yet announced, but they're gonna when the price goes down, then they'll sell a 2-pack, right? That has both of them.
Oh, they absolutely will.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that's not already the thing they're doing with it now, to be honest.
Oh, they just start with you have to buy the 2-pack.
Yeah, like that would have made sense as to why it's full price, but that
would have made sense why it was full price. So, yeah, Last of Us still looks good.
I still don't want to play part 2, to be honest.
You don't want to play part 2?
Yeah, because honestly, The Last of Us 1 was to me was a complete story.
Yep.
That I was like, I don't need to know what happens after this. Like if I wanted The Last of Us 2 to be a plot that just happens to take place and it has nothing to do with them. But, it was
a side story with somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a whole other, just like another part of the world kind of thing with maybe some like references to them or something.
Sure. We got a trailer for the anniversary update to Kena Bridge of Spirits. For anybody who forgot, Kena Bridge of Spirits is that game that looks like a fucking Pixar movie.
Yeah.
That came out on the PS5 that had the little rots, little cute balls of rot. They're putting in a bunch of new outfits, a bunch of new hats for the rots, a bunch of new abilities, like a whole new ability system where you can slot crystals in to make a difference, challenge maps, photo mode updates, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, things, charm stones.
A lot of shit.
New Game Plus. Yep, whole big thing. And this is a very charming game. Like I think that this is a reason for them to still be able to charge you full price, right, for the game now it's updated. But like, this was a pretty solid action game. Tessa and I played it when it came out a billion years ago. I played about half of it, and then I kind of petered out a little bit on it. This was a fun game, though. I really recommend. Like, definitely, if you're a PlayStation 5 owner and this comes to the plus, the Ultimate Plus thing,
or even just the normal Plus eventually.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's got a lot of kind of action and platforming. It's kind of hard, actually, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, like one of the reasons I stopped was because it started to get a little harder, and I was just like, I don't want to put work into you, Kina. I've got Elden Ring for that.
That's fair.
Yeah, still looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, it looks great.
And then there's like a if you have like the enhanced edition or something, there's like a special kind of Eastern, like a samurai armor that you get specifically.
Oh, that's fun.
So, yep. Let's see. From there, I think we got more. Oh my God, yeah, I forgot about this. Fuck, how much time do we have left to talk about stuff? Not very long. Okay, Michael, did you watch this 10 minutes of Forspoken?
No.
Okay.
10 minutes of what?
Yeah, I feel like they needed to do damage control after last week and their fucking
terrible commercial.
horrible commercial.
So picture this: a 10-minute fucking video comes out, or whatever, and you're like, "Did you play it?" I was like, "Hell no."
I posted on the Discord to get a good idea about this. I think this looks bad.
I honestly don't care about it.
Like,
the more I find out about it, the less interested I become.
Like the way that the game plays, like the way that it looks like it plays, it's all like particles. It's so many particles. The faces and the like acting seem bad. Like there's a point early on where they show, because this is like a section where they show this capital of Sepal, and like there's people there, and the main character kind of runs into this citadel, and it's this very open, sparse world with not a lot of people in it. It's big shops. But this is like, they have this conversation with this NPC character, and like this NPC has like their face barely looks like they're looking at the character when they show them. They've got dead, glassy eyes. And then they like...
So it feels a lot of last gen, or if not even 360 gen almost.
And then they show them out in the world. I hate the UI for this. It's so
weird,
intrusive. It's too stylized. Like here's your health bar / something, and it's like at an angle.
Yeah.
Like this bar in the bottom corner is like at a weird angle. And then when you look at the actual action, it's just like, it's so much shit. Like it's like all these particles and dashes and like glowing like sparkles coming off. It's hard for me to look at between how the UI looks and how the actual powers in the game look. It's like
there's a lot of sparkles. Holy shit.
It's really kind of
a lot of particles.
Unpleasant to look at. Let me see if I can find. Here's a battle sequence. Like it's just, there's a lot. It's like a big open world. It looks like very generic. It's so busy. It's so busy, like, and it looks.
I can see that.
Like really floaty.
There's just something off about the whole thing.
I don't know. Yeah, something's weird to me about it. I could just be suffering from fucking like Elden Ring brain poisoning. That like I'm just like, Elden Ring changed everything. This isn't acceptable anymore. Like,
no, I don't think that's it. It's just that every time I see more about this game, there's just something off about it that never feels right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want to be excited about something that looks like it's a new IP. Like it's got, this kind of like,
isekai thing.
Isekai idea.
Yeah.
A lot of people of color kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the more I look at it, the more I'm like, this feels just kind of weird.
I don't know. Do you see what I'm talking about? Like you're looking at it right now. Do you see what I'm talking about? Where it's like hard to look at between the really gaudy UI and the huge particle effects happening all the time.
A lot of particle effects.
So fast. Like just bam, 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 bam. And the characters, they have like really nice scanned in faces, but real dead expressions, like just super dead.
Yeah, it's a game that the more I find out about it, the more I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because I was pretty interested when they first announced it. But every time, they come out with something new, I'm like, man, this just doesn't feel right.
Also, just like the traversal is like all these weird dashes and stuff. And like, oh yeah, look at this equip screen. Look at this equip screen. Like,
that is horrible.
It's like the whole thing has been projected onto like a bowling ball or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why you would make this all harder to read.
That's hard to look at.
It's just so weirdly dissonant.
This is
something
not
is
working.
wrong with it. Like,
This is not working for me.
so yeah, that's go watch the trailer. I mean, you go tell me in the comments. Like, say some people in the Discord were like, I think it looks fine, and I was just like, really? Because I don't want to play this game. Like, it looks like it would be like taxing to my brain to look at.
I'm afraid I'd get a headache playing this game after a while.
Yeah. I don't know. They just maxed out the particles and anyway. At least there's no voiceover.
The particles just aren't like nice enough looking too, I think is my other issue.
Yeah. We also got so we a gameplay overview that we got that I liked was from Gamescom. We got the last case of Benedict Fox. We got a gameplay overview. Did you get a chance to watch this?
I was going to, but I didn't get a chance.
They straight up say this shit's a Metroidvania.
Yeah,
like it is.
They said it during their winning of their award thing too.
Yeah, and like then they show like the kind of like 2D combat. It looks like there's going to be very much a finding clues in the real world to bring into this weird spirit world. Yeah. They show like a way of like there's going to be like an upgrade system where you can buy like tools that you'll need to get into different doors. Like they show Houdini's lockpick and like a ground pound, and show some like it also looks like there's a whole like investigation kind of thing between the combat, but then the combat looks really solid. Like the combat looks like the sort of thing that I would really like. Kind of a dodgy parry Metroidvania type of thing with a lot of nifty art design and stuff. So
this is a game I'm very looking forward to.
Me too. Big deals. Let's see. We got a really brief trailer for Layers of Fears, which is the Layer of Fear game they're making in Unreal Engine 5.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, from Gamescom. Looks good. Like there was some kind of cool. They showed more what I feel like is more gameplay, because previously it's just been like kind of static stuff.
Yeah.
Looks good. Like, man, can't wait for these Unreal Engine 5 games to start coming out.
Yeah, it's going to do a lot of great heavy lifting that's going to make games just look fucking great no matter what.
Yep.
And I'm cool with that.
Yep, me too. Let's see. Oh, my God. Okay, we're out of time. Quick like a bunny. Nope. We're skipping some stuff. Did you see 3 minutes of Ghostbusters?
I did. This is the thing I did watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks fine.
It looks like one of those asynchronous multiplayer games, but with a Ghostbusters skin on it.
Yeah, because that's kind of my only issue with it, is that like I wish there was just more to do, but based on the gameplay, it's just a lot of like, you go after the one specific guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess. But I'm going to play it. There's no way I'm not going to play it. But because there's a lot of stuff going on about it. Because there's a lot of stuff about it that I didn't know about until fairly recently.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of the writing is also being done by these two people that I follow on the internet on Funhouse called James Willems and Elise, who I love them. They're really charming, funny people. So they wrote a lot of the stuff. I found out that there's going to be a voice for Tobin, for the Tobin Spirit Guide.
Oh, okay.
They got fucking Raul Coley.
That is.
He played the sheriff in Midnight Mass.
Oh,
he's a big like up and coming guy. I knew him because of Funhouse.
Okay.
And he also he was on iZombie. He's been doing a lot of stuff with Mike Flanagan specifically.
Okay.
So that's the thing that he's been known for recently.
Cool.
But I'm very excited for all that stuff, at least.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
A lot of cool stuff could come from it, Ghostbusters plot wise. So
yeah,
but I'm gonna play it.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
Michael will buy it. It doesn't matter.
I've already pre-ordered the collector's edition because it's the physical version.
What are you doing? What are you saying that stuff to my audience for? That's
because it's a physical. Because it's the digital and the physical copy, and the physical one is the collector's one, and I want the physical.
There's going to be a spin-off for Crypt of the Necrodancer called Rift of the Necrodancer, which appears to be one part Guitar Hero, and then also there appears to be some Punch-Out in it, sort of.
Go on.
That's also all rhythm based. So this is just a brand new thing.
I would be terrible at this.
From the Necrodancer folks. I was never very good at Crypt of the Necrodancer. I was able to get Cadence of Hyrule though. So, but it looks really charming. Like
so it's Guitar Hero with some Punch Out, but also that one fucking Rhythm Heaven game. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, kinda. Yeah,
because that's what that one part with her doing yoga was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. That's what that was. Yeah, looks good. Solid art style, very solid art style.
I'm really glad these developers have been doing really well though, because they're solid like idea games that have done really well.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they're doing well.
They got that. Cadence of Hyrule money. They got Nintendo let them make.
That
a
was
game.
amazing. Yeah,
it was a very cool game.
That's absolutely crazy that they let them do that still.
Yeah,
because Zelda's not known for having spin-offs like that.
Hell no, especially not weird rhythm-based spin-offs.
Mario, I would have expected a Mario game to have something like that more than that. But that's what I think is fascinating about it.
Absolutely. Let's see. We got a story trailer for Deliver Us Mars. I put this on here when I thought we'd have more time. Deliver Us Mars looks rad, and I want to play it. Looks cool. So there you go. Go watch it. Looks cool. And then the last trailer we had was we got a Gamescom trailer for Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes, which is the Kickstarter game from the guy that made Suikoden.
Okay.
And that's why it looks exactly like Suikoden.
Yeah, it looks just like it.
We're just like, there's a ton of heroes. There's so many characters. And then you get a JRPG with 1 million characters. And it's like, okay, sure.
Cool.
I guess it all just depends on how the writing is. Like, there's nothing in here. It's a 3D world with pixel characters, which is fine. It just depends on how fun how good the writing is. So
100%.
I like the fact that there's a shark. There's like a king shark guy.
Yeah,
that's great.
The kangaroo guy.
Yep. Kangaroo guy was in the that prequel that they put on Game Pass.
He was, yeah.
Yep. Never played it. Never went back and played it, but looks good.
I didn't either. I meant to.
All right, finishing stretch, everybody. We got a release date for Pentiment, which was that Obsidian game where you played what do they call it? Highlighted manuscript, enlightened manuscript, or whatever.
I forgot what it's called. But I thought it looked really fun.
Yeah. It's going to be coming out in November. So that was the one that was like an Obsidian murder mystery,
like an old timey book, basically.
Yeah, enlightened manuscript.
I don't remember the names of it. Called?
Nope. Okay.
Yeah, I doubt it would tell you.
But we also got we also found out that Inkulinati is coming this winter. I thought this was hilarious, Michael. I don't know if you even know what this is, but this is the other like enlightened manuscript game.
I don't think I do know about this.
This is one where it's a tactical strategy game that's played in like the margins, because that's where those enlightened manuscripts, they drew the stuff in the margins, and so it's like the board is mostly just like a book, but then you have a little strategy game that you play in the bottom with the characters, and they're all really weird. They're like that weird, here's what a snail looks like to these weird monks type of thing.
I vaguely remember seeing something about this.
Yeah, it's coming out this winter.
Oh, that's fun.
So there you go.
Good for them.
Dum. Let's see. Ooblets is also coming out in September for the Switch, and then also it is leaving early access and going into 1.0 finally.
Oh, finally.
It's been a long time, but Ooblets is coming out. If you are a fan of Animal Crossing, Pokemon, or Twee things, or hipster aesthetics, I highly recommend Ooblets. It is charming. All the Pokemons have dance battles, but you have to grow them like Animal Crossing to get them. And then you put little hats on them, and also you get to decorate your house and like hang out with like hipsters and do fun chores. It is truly one of a kind. Go check it out.
Yeah.
So
have fun with it.
Yep.
Even though they yelled at the Epic people.
High on Life. I think Epic people deserve to be yelled at. High on Life got a 2-month delay.
Oh, okay.
So instead of October 25th, it's coming out on December 13th. And they announced this with a weird animation of a guy saying his short, veiny son is ready to date and asking if there are any people that want to date them. And then announcing that the game was going to be delayed by a couple of months. So
yeah, that sounds just like them.
Yep.
That's exactly how they should be doing that.
Yep. Exactly. Let's see. And then also Mask of the Rose is getting delayed until spring of 2023. I don't know if you remember this one. This is the one where it was like underground London, like eldritch, but then also dating.
No, I remember that one. Yeah, because we were talking about how fucking weird that was.
Yes. So yeah, that one's been delayed until 2023. And then a name I've not heard in a long, long time. We potentially have Helldivers 2 might be announced soon.
Oh, yeah.
Fully announced.
That's definitely not a name I have heard in a long time.
Yes, somebody basically tried to leak 10 seconds of Helldivers 2 footage, and it got copyright claimed. And you know what that means.
Yeah, means it's most likely shit's going to go down, guys.
Yep, apparently they've been working on that shit for quite some time. I love Helldivers.
That first one, everyone I knew loved. Even fucking Randy was playing that one.
Yep. Helldivers 2. Can't wait. Because, you had to put in, like, those cheat codes to bring down, like, reinforcements that if your guy didn't get out of the way, it would just kill your fucking friend.
Yeah. It's kind of amazing. Yeah.
It was pretty good. And then last but not least, let's wrap up with a few things. For anybody who's a fan of Elden Ring, this is a really interesting thing. I don't know if you looked at this, but there's this YouTube channel called Eugenia Lysa, Lysa, who basically took one of the enemies from Elden Ring as a singing kind of harpy and then like extrapolated a pitch for a full DLC expansion based on this and then put it all together in Unreal 5 into a visual pitch with like items and areas and scenarios about where this would be what the bosses would be and like what the lore would be and how you would go about like fighting various characters. She's an artist, so she did like concept art and then like put this stuff together, mocked up like dialogue trees and stuff.
Holy shit.
Like
that's amazing.
Kind of amazing. And this is like 13 minutes long. And it's just a pitch, basically. It's not even a real thing. Like, this is the level that Souls fandom has gotten to, where people are literally using Unreal Engine 5 to make a fake DLC pitch deck, basically.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But that just shows how great Unreal Engine has been for a lot of people.
I think it shows how good Elden Ring is. You son of a bitch. Beat Elden Ring, Michael.
What? I'm just saying, if people are able to make fucking full pitches, that's fucking crazy.
No, it is. The only thing that I don't like about this, everyone should go watch this video. But the only thing I don't like about this is that the this armor guy model that they're using, when he stands still, his arms are in a really weird position.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look right. It looks like his arms are fucked up.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yes, exactly. Where do I put my feet? Where do I put my feet? For you, Michael, when it comes to the mods, I got the Spider-Man mod where you just play as Ben Parker's Tombstone.
I've seen that mod online. So the online community has gone fucking crazy with mods.
Yep.
And they've made some pretty amazing fucking mods.
Yep.
And this was one of my favorites.
We talked about it last week. They put the Kingpin one is pretty funny.
Yeah.
But this one is just Ben Parker's Tombstone, like blapping around hitting guys. It doesn't even have a bottom. It doesn't even have a bottom model like on it. So
watching it swing around is really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've made a lot of crazy fucking mods and some amazing suits that they've put into it using like character models from other games, just up-resing them.
Oh, okay.
They used, for instance, they put the Edge of Time Spider-Man suit, which is a super unique Spider-Man suit because you know when you look at a Spider-Man suit, the web lines are very like even and symmetrical. The Edge of Time ones are just fucking everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Like, it looks like something somebody would make who's very bad at like knitting or not knitting, at sewing, which makes sense for Peter Parker.
Right on.
And so they also put in the symbiote one from that one too, because that one's really nice looking and stuff. They did a lot of cool shit with that. The Stan Lee one is really cool as well.
You buy PC yet?
No.
What's it going to take? They got to do Elden Ring DLC for you to buy a PC for Spider-Man?
We'll put Spider-Man in Elden Ring? Sure. Let's do that.
Well, remember, I mean, I don't know. We had that Dark Souls mod that put Halo guns in it.
That's true.
You know.
But maybe I'll download that and just beat the game as a Halo game.
So we had one mod for me and one mod for you. And now at the end here, we have one mod for the both of us. I don't know if you saw this Metal Gear Solid. Yep. Somebody took Boneworks, which is like a very, it's a specific VR game. And then they mapped a bunch of Metal Gear stuff into it, like OG Metal Gear.
Yeah, because Boneworks gets used for a lot of like crazy mods. Like I saw one where like the guy was Deadpool fighting a bunch of Spider-Mans and stuff. Just insane shit.
It was interesting because this lets you. It's got like kind of a museum mode where you can walk around and look at various models.
Yeah.
But then you can also. There's like you can play like the first two areas, the coming out of the water and then the heliport, and then I think the inside of the tank hangar as well.
Yeah.
It does though bring to light the thing that like one of the things I was watching somebody play this where it was like one of the things that you are going to need to do if you want this to work is you're going to have to redo the AI for the soldiers because
absolutely.
like you're not supposed to like in a third person game you don't have to peek around corners, you can use the camera for that, whereas here it's a little bit harder to do, so they get aggro real fast on you
because they can see you pretty quickly.
Yeah. And I think they're using the Boneworks. Also, you can you have to punch them physically. You have to punch them instead of hitting the punch button. But it's still cool. Like it's still kind of interesting, an interesting way. And it goes to show that you know what? If Konami wanted to cash in one more time, they should just fucking hire like some Blue Point style studio to remake Metal Gear Solid 1.
Otherwise, it's still not a thing.
New consoles.
Just fucking do it, guys.
Yep, because there's still just this.
It's a license to print money.
Yeah. You do it on Unreal Engine 5. You could probably crowdsource half of it.
Oh, easily.
Like you
probably could trick them into making the game for you and then just buying it from somebody.
there are fans of Metal Gear that if you just put out a tweet saying, we're cool if anybody wants to remake Metal Gear Solid in Unreal Engine 5, we promise we won't sue you. And then once a project gets to 80% completion, you're like, psych, bitch. Like, it's ours now. Give it to me. And most Metal Gear fans would be like, please, just put it out.
From me.
Like, just finish it and put it out.
If you want, I can finish it and then just give it to you.
Yes. I don't even want anything.
You don't even have to pay me. Just get David Hayter to call me for like 10 seconds.
Can you just give me the original audio files? I recorded them all off of the PlayStation with a microphone.
I paid David Hayter in cameos for the whole game.
Right. One at a time. So it would be interesting if but this is also very interesting. It's kind of interesting because VR makes everything different.
Yeah.
Like, makes it all 3D. You're down in the shit instead of up in the clouds.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's easier to do with the PS1 models probably because of how not super detailed they are.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Ripping the models out and wrapping them around.
This is really cool.
Stuff. Yeah. It's pretty nifty. It just all breaks down the minute you have to get into combat.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's just how these games, some of these games they mod these on top of are, because that's just how those combats were to begin with.
yeah.
Because people done some insane stuff.
It's just Boneworks combat. So
yeah, exactly.
Like this person playing is just trying to slap this genome soldier so hard.
He's like, go down, damn you. He doesn't know the importance of CQC.
That's right. He needs to go back and train with the boss.
Yeah.
And that is our show. Merely 20 minutes over.
Not
from what
terrible.
we're supposed to be. But we did a whole conference and we did most of a whole week of news. That was a hell of a thing.
Exactly.
If you appreciate that work, maybe you want to go to patreon.com/RageSci. Or if you want to find more of Michael, where can they go? As if I don't know, and you haven't said it over and over again.
You can find me on oneofus.net. We do a lot of movie and television reviews. Like I said, I'm working on maybe trying to get a Dragon Ball review eventually, but I don't know.
Okay.
If not, I still say watch it if you like Dragon Ball in any way.
Michael, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this right now. If they don't give you a review, I will give you a review. We won't take the place of anything else that we record, but if you need a place to talk about Dragon Ball for 45 minutes, you can do it here, and then you and I can just play Fighter. You whip my ass in Fighters for 45 minutes. I'll put that over the top. Just put it out and be like, I don't give a shit. Whatever. Here it is. I don't care. Here it is. Like, I don't care.
I thought about listening to Corey, because Corey did a review on it, and I was like, I know full well if I watch this review, I'm going to have an aneurysm.
Is he a Dragon Ball fan?
No, he's just like, he just reviewed it because it got #1 for the box office, because he did that for Brawley when Brawley came out. Because Brawley was like #5 when it came out.
You can't just start watching Dragon Ball whenever you feel like it.
And so I was like, because I was there when he did the Brawley one, like straight up like in the room, and I was like going fucking mad, trying not to just say something the entire time. And I was like, if I watch this YouTube one, I'm gonna be like, well, Corey, he's not in the room, so I can't like do anything about it.
Right.
So yeah.
It's like when people watch Matt and I play games and start yelling at our screen.
Exactly.
All right. That's a podcast. Everybody go to bed. I guess unless you'll see this on Monday in the middle of the afternoon. You know what? Still go to bed. You can use a nap. Yeah, I give you permission. Take a nap. Go to sleep. pass out, wherever it's appropriate. You need more sleep. You're not taking care of yourself. Please sleep more.